What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Frankie and Davis podcast. This is the podcast where we get the wigglelessly. Is that a word?
Is that
Wiggle.
wiggle?
We get guests that wiggle like crazy. And
Wiggle.
we get together and talk about whatever we want. My name is Davis.
And
with me, as always, Frankie.
hey, hello everyone.
And today our guest is Zabrina.
Zabrina, hello.
All right.
Hello.
So today, what we're gonna do is Brina. I'm sorry. I got a friend named
We got
Brina.
nicknames now.
I got a friend named Brina. So Zabrina. I'm sorry. So thank you so much for coming out to the show. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Zabrina, aka Zab's Crabs.
You hate crabs.
How can you hate crabs?
I'm allergic to that shit.
Okay,
Screw
that's
that.
why we're gonna eat together. I'm gonna eat your crabs. Take it all.
They're expensive.
They are, so I do need you to wine and dine me. We're going for crabs after this.
Hell no. As long as you give me
okay.
lobster, I'm not allergic to that.
Okay. But I am Zabrina. I am from Orange County, kind of wandered the world, kind of just trying to explore the world and adventures. And thankfully, I've always been able to be in some kind of shenanigan and come out alive, which
Troublemaker.
that's how I roll. So, thankfully God has provided, and always good stories, good memories. And I studied in Sweden. I studied abroad also in Chile.
Okay.
I was out in Asia teaching English. I was volunteering. In general, I'm just kind of a free-flowing spirit. I like to plan events. I've worked at a car dealership in Minnesota.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Is it pretty cold out there? Does it
It
snow?
is booty freezing, like for reals. It was
Well, it's not freezing, but booty freezing.
booty,
I like
your
that.
butt cheeks freeze together
Stuck
because
together.
it's negative 10 degrees sometimes. I mean, it was winter from October till June. Like every day was like 20 degrees,
Wow.
like snow shoveling and ice picking
Yeah,
and
it gives you
everything.
a good workout though.
It was, and especially in the car industry, it was just crazy. Like tires, batteries, snow, freezing. Yeah, I mean, like so cold your snot freezes for real.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, it was a good learning experience. I definitely got tougher skin out there, and now I appreciate California. Like now here, this is like a breeze. California winter.
Yeah.
It's
The
like-
West Coast is the best coast.
It is
Yep.
West Side till we die. Everywhere else, it's a little whack everywhere else, but it's good to go out into just to put yourself in different places, just to learn and see different perspectives of how people live, and then you
Yeah.
appreciate what you have here so much more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so, I mean, thankfully, I have been able to, trot around to like 20 different states. I got to like frolic in 36 countries over
Damn.
Crap.
135 plus cities. So, I mean, I get around. I've been,
Is there even 36 countries? I think you're making up that number.
yeah, I just made it up. I'm going for my goal is hitting for 76. If I have to like wheelchair, if on a cane, somebody's got to carry me. I'm going for the
Well,
big old
you know
goals.
what? I've been to the next city over. How about that, huh?
Oh, okay. Where are we going? Wetminta?
Wetminta,
in the
Garden Grove.
house. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. So, I mean, thankfully, I have been able to explore a lot of places. I mean, I do have a website that I kind of did on the side. It's called www.zpwonders.com. So, ZP is basically a business name that I started up. Actually, it started out as Zabre, which in Arabic means good friend, which,
Okay.
I'm a good friend.
I don't know about that.
Pat on my shoulder. That was the concept. But what I didn't do when I started my business, I didn't really think about how exactly words go together. So I had it as Zabre, which is, partly Zabs. I like the
Okay.
whole Z theme. I'm like a Z person. Productions, which is just like, coordinating productions. And I put it together as Zabre Productions.
Oh,
But when
okay.
I made my website, I said zabreproductions.com, right? And then I showed it to my friends, and they're like, they didn't know exactly what it was. So all they read was Zab Reproductions. So I didn't even notice. And so my friends thought I actually had a website like promoting my reproduction, like my eggs, or like I'm selling my
Wow.
body. I'm trying to reproduce myself. I don't know. So I realize now, okay, you gotta like look at things, like every little detail,
Yeah.
because you see one thing, somebody else sees another thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's all part of the learning process and all. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like e-commerce, entrepreneur, free spirit. I like to just follow my passions, and wherever, like I feel like I'm led to, put my mind to it, go for it, take the jump, take the leap, do as best as I
Congratulations on
can.
that, because not everyone's willing to actually, hey, I'm going to quit my job and do this or travel or, just anything. So, yeah, congratulations to you and how entrepreneur you are, and you're willing to travel, I don't know how many countries. So
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I just feel like, I'm you got different chapters in your life, different phases.
Yeah.
So I wanted to explore the world, learn about, everything I can about cultures, people, and then eventually the next chapter, I'm going to settle down,
Yeah.
So different chapters in your life. Everybody has a different plan, but thankfully I've like had some crazy memories and,
Those are the
almost
best.
died, almost, like starved, sleeping in, cars and
how much
random places.
Now
yeah.
you appreciate how much, life is now once you went through all that,
Definitely,
right? Yeah.
definitely. That's what I love about it. So it's just, all a learning experience of like life and all. So we live and learn. So
Awesome. Jeez,
Awesome.
I'm envious.
oh,
I'm
well,
super envious.
Let's join
actually.
on. Let's travel. Let's explore.
I think you're more man than I am. I'm too scared.
Boy, thank you. I do have some men. No, I just, that's why I don't think, I think everybody is capable of it. I think everybody should go out there. It gives you just a different view of life, and then it just helps you enrich your life.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, why don't you tell us something about like what's going on with you? What's new?
What is new? I just saw Interstellar the other day. I went to the Man's Chinese Theater.
I heard about that movie. I heard it's
So-
pretty good, but
Dude,
I
it's
mean,
like
without doing any spoiler alerts, I mean, can you give us a little bit details about the movie?
it is your typical space
Okay.
save the earth movie, but honestly, like just the storyline, like I was like bawling my eyes out like numerous times where I almost was like
So it's a chick flick.
no, but it's tricky, but there's like save the world, and there's like rockets, comets, all this stuff. So I mean, it's just a deep movie where you like
So-
think about life and time,
Mm-hmm.
and like like it's crazy relativity. Like you go to this planet and you're 30 years older, So I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's pretty trippy concept. So I mean, I definitely recommend it. It is 3 hours,
Oh, wow.
so that's 3 hours of your time that you got to commit.
Hey, but I heard it's like one of the best movies this year or last year, if not the best movie.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's one of my favorite space movies now. And it was funny because I originally, maybe about a month
Better
ago,
than Space Jam?
Space Jam. Oh, Michael Jordan. That's my jam too.
Okay,
but
cool.
actual real space. This one, honestly. So what I did was like maybe a month ago, I did this random focus group. So focus groups are like they have a topic. So the focus group topic was about movies,
Okay.
and they're like, "All right, well, have you seen these 12 movies?" And I said, "I saw like 5 of them." And then the last one was like Interstellar, and I had planned to see it. So I kind of did a little fib, and I said I saw it, and I was planning to see it, right?
That's not a little fib. That's a big fib.
I was planning. It was like it was in my head because Tony,
Yeah.
so friends wanted to watch it, and I was gonna go, but I couldn't go before the focus group. So I go to the focus group. They picked me for it, and they're like, "All right, for the next 2 hours, we're gonna talk about Interstellar." And I was just like, I got red, and I was like, "Okay, focus, like where, like so." Literally for 2 hours, I just BS like imagination. I was like. The space and the stars, they twinkled in Matthew McConaughey's eyes, and it's just an emotional roller coaster. And everybody was like, "Yeah,
I love it.
that is true, girl." And I was like, literally, I had not even seen any. Like, I saw the trailer once. I had no idea what really the movie is about. So I mean, so luckily I was able to BS for 2 hours, did my focus group, and then I did watch it this last week, and
Nice.
thumbs up. I give it thumbs up.
So with that being said, yes, Frankie and I both saw the movie too.
Yeah, we did. About
Was it a bromance date?
it was about the planet and
Dude, that spaceship?
Oh, it was
Right?
amazing.
Right?
Yeah. I don't think we can BS 2 more hours about this.
That's 2 seconds.
Damn.
No, they literally went one person, like one by one. And they're like, "So, Zabrina, what did you think about this scene?" And I was like, you know what? Just
I was kinda
the
napping.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was cool though. It worked out, and
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. So recommended on your
definitely,
list.
yes. Interstellar is a great movie.
Very cool. All right, Frankie, dude, what's going on with you, dude?
I didn't I didn't do much actually.
That's what I like to hear.
You didn't do much.
I was sleeping. No.
Yeah.
I actually went to apartment shopping earlier with my brother.
Oh,
And
looking for an apartment?
Yeah, we've been looking around certain areas. And funny story, earlier today, we went to this apartment complex. It's probably like 3 stories. We walked in and we're like, damn, the host is freaking hot.
Yeah.
So-
Bonus.
And then when she kind of turned around, I was like, dang, she got a nice booty. So we were start walking to the apartment complex. We checked it out. Like, oh, it's pretty nice. It's pretty, well built, pretty modern. And when we were done, me and my brother was like, damn, it's a nice place. And then we thought to ourselves and asked each other, damn, do we like the place or do we like the chick?
Is she well built or is
Yeah, I think we're sold off
Oh.
from the chick instead of the actual apartment. But other than that, I didn't do much. I just laid around and got fat.
Tell me a little bit more about this girl. So.
No, it's-
How old was she?
I don't know. She had to be like around in her 25s.
Ethnicity?
I think she's like white and something. I don't know. But she was
Mixed.
hot. I was like, whoa.
See, that's how they get you, right?
Exactly. They put some hot girl in the front. and
How can
just-
you say no?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, man, forget 1,700. Here's like 2,500 for rent. Take more from me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, what about you, Davis?
Okay. So every year I get an annual cough. So you were saying it earlier that you're kind of getting over a cough. And for some reason, every year around like the December time when it gets cold, I develop a cough. I don't feel sick, but I just cough. And it's to the point where at night I have trouble sleeping because I'll wake up from coughing. So I decided this time around that I need to cure it because my cough usually lasts for about a month. And I just about got over my cough. So right now you can tell I'm not coughing. So I feel a little bit better. But I want to take you guys on my journey real quick. So I got a bag of stuff here that
Damn.
I've been trying. So for the viewers. Now, one of the first things that I heard about, and actually I think this is one of my first experiences ever, is honey.
What?
Yeah. So
Honey.
one of the remedies
Honey.
is to just eat a spoonful of honey.
I've heard about that. Yep.
Did it work?
Okay. So honey actually does kind of work on me. But it only works for about an hour or so, and then my cough comes back.
Does it just kind of like a mucus lubricant kind of way?
Yeah, I guess it coats your.
Just coats it. Yeah.
I guess it coats. Here's some honey.
Now I'm
She's already coughing.
honey.
Don't eat the whole thing.
So that works for a little bit. I did the gargle salt water, warm salt water. That kind of worked a little bit. I got airborne. So
That thing's a scam.
Is it?
I heard.
They got sued for
Yeah, they
it.
got sued a while
Yeah.
back.
wait, what did they
Where
get
have
sued for?
you been? That's like so 2008 or something.
Vitamin C.
Yeah,
I thought it
everybody was
good.
buying that like crazy, and then out of nowhere they're like, "Oh, it doesn't work. It's
Really?
just all gimmicks."
Okay, and I will tell you, it does not work for a cough. So, there's that. I got tea, and supposedly this is supposed to be good for sore throats.
Throat coat, I like
Throat-
that. Throat coats. That's sexy.
You know what I'm saying? So I got tea, and this is just
I
kind
got
of nice, I guess, but it didn't really help, or a little bit. It just kind of soothes me a little bit. So that doesn't help. I got cough drops, which is bad because it's addicting.
Yeah, they are.
Dude, you eat one of these and you have to
Keep
eat the
popping
whole
in there,
bag.
yeah.
Yeah, so I got that, but that's just a Band-Aid. Then I got the spray, which is
Ooh.
some sort of throat spray, and this
Let
barely
me try that.
this barely works. If you want to try that, but you have to spit it out though. You can't swallow
okay,
it.
forget
Yeah.
that. I'll be spitting.
Then I got these
Always spitting.
Alka-Seltzer Plus things where supposedly it's good for a sore throat.
Did you just rob a freaking CVS or something?
No, dude, I've been to Vaughn's like 12 times this week.
Holy
So
shit,
I
dude.
tried these Alka-Seltzer Plus, and these just kind of soothe. But then around this time when I tried this, I was like, okay, it's not that bad, but it started coming back. And then I went deep. So this is the last thing that I got. It's Mucinex.
Zang, that
I
is
hate,
deep.
I hate those. I think I
Have
tried.
you tried? Have you
I
guys
think
tried
I
this?
tried one of that. It makes your throat really dry,
Okay.
right? Or did you get that same feeling? Or
Okay. So when I took this, I thought I was on drugs. Like I felt medicated where I haven't
High and
really
all.
felt medicated before from medication, weirdly enough. But when I took this, my limbs kind of went a little bit numb and my mind just wasn't like focused, and I was drowsy, yeah, I wasn't, and it was just the worst feeling. However, it totally cured my cough.
It sounds like the company NyQuil made that.
I have no idea. I think it's for like allergies and whatnot, but it says controls cough and thins out mucus. But my cough has been a dry cough.
So no cough, but you're just like jello.
Yeah,
Just wobbling.
exactly. Yeah.
Jello.
Oh, but I hated the feeling. I did not like it one bit. So I took it a couple times and my cough was cured, but I just didn't like it. So eventually I just kind of toughed it out and it's just fading away. So no more cough.
That's
or
good.
very little cough.
Woohoo.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right into our segments. So like Zabrina said earlier, she's a globetrotter all around the world. www.zpwonders.com. And one of the first things that we wanted to ask you, Frankie and I, is how do you plan a trip?
That is a good question. I think, honestly, I feel like everybody wants to travel, right? Like everybody's like, oh, I want to go here. You know, I have a vacation this time. I want to do all these things. But I do feel like it comes down to the planning, which is like where people either do it or they don't. So you got to...
How far advanced do you plan a trip?
I think the more you plan, the more efficient you are, the more you can get done. So, I mean, it
Okay.
kind of depends on what type of traveler you are. So if you
Okay.
just want a spontaneous thing, like let's just go with the flow and wild, who knows what happens, yeah, you can have those trips too. But if you
Okay.
want to like, say if you only have like a certain amount of time, a certain amount of budget, you want to hit up Europe. I mean, you got to like, you know, you want to make the most of it.
Yeah,
So you got to
yeah.
like plan it out instead of like taking all that time there to plan. You should plan beforehand. So a lot of
Okay,
times
okay.
with my travels, it almost takes me the same amount of time as planning as I do traveling. So if I'm traveling for 6 months, I'll take almost 6 months to plan it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I am a little more like thorough and like I like to get like deals and make sure I'm comparing
Yeah.
prices, like, you know, the cheapest flights, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So what I will do is I'll start off with what I want. Like, okay, I want to go to I'm going to go to Asia and go to Songkran, which is Thai New Year's in April. So I'm going to
Okay.
be like, all right, Songkran in April, I got to be in Bangkok or Chiang Mai on April 14th to the 16th. Then
Yeah.
I'll plan my trip from around there. So, I mean, that's the one for sure spot I got to go for. Then I got to, you know, I want to see Thailand beforehand. So then I'll decide, okay, how many days do I want to be in Bangkok? And then how many days I will be at Songkran, then how many days I want to be at the next, you know, city. So basically kind of have to have an itinerary where you say, okay, from April 1st to the 4th, I'm going to be in Bangkok.
Okay.
All right. So then the next step would be, all right, I got to get a flight. So I got to get my flight out to, you know, from the US to Thailand. You go on all the different websites. There's like all these different airline websites. Compare prices.
I heard recently, I don't know if it works with like international flights, but if you kind of book a flight, like a two-way flight, you get a cheaper flight in between.
It depends. It depends. So
Do you do that?
So sometimes
Okay.
I actually check out every single option. So I'll do
Okay.
like a round trip and then I'll go, okay, one way. And then if I do another one way a different time with a different airlines, you know, I just add it up if it's cheaper or not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it depends on if you have no budget, obviously you don't have to think about it, but you know, and you just want to get everything done. But if you do have your budget, then yeah, you want to save money, then yeah, you got to check out all the options,
Yeah.
kind of like figure out, okay, it's this price for this airlines, it's this price for this airlines, but I'm going to get there earlier with this airlines. You know, I can make the most of my time. Or also like booking with flights, you have to know when to buy. So if you buy on like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, the airlines, they know, they're smart. They know when people shop. So
Right.
they, they analyze data. They know like exactly how many people go on to this website to buy a ticket. So they'll raise the prices depending on, you know, like the amount
Yeah.
of people on.
Yeah.
So if they know people are just like, oh, I want to buy it, I just need to get it done. But if you're a smart shopper, you know, like compare prices, and then what you want to do is on like Wednesdays or like random days, like Tuesday, Wednesdays, maybe Thursdays,
Okay.
random hours. Then once you have like a good feel of like, okay, most likely I can get this flight for $800 at the lowest price.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, if I see it on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for about that price or lower, I'm just gonna buy it because that's the lowest I've seen it. So like I'll
Okay.
randomly wake up at like midnight or 2 a.m. and look on the website to see how much
Damn,
it is.
2 a.m.
Yeah, you gotta just like, that's why you gotta outsmart the system because they have a system.
I'm busy doing something else at 2 a.m.
Well, that's why you got put on, roll over, go online, and do that. So that's the thing. So if you want the best prices, you got to take that extra step, that extra time, and outsmart them and be like, okay, I'm going to check it at this price, and this is the best price. Okay, then I'm going to book it. But, so
Very
Okay.
so
interesting.
Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays are good times, random hours. So don't just ever book your flight because, it's going to be high, and then you're going to check an hour late, and it's going to go higher, and you're like, oh gosh, I got to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But really, that's what they do. They trick you, and they want you to be
Interesting.
scared, and they want you to buy it right away for the higher price.
So during these normally high traffic times,
Yeah.
they bump up the price
Yeah,
because
so they know.
everyone
that's how,
after work on Friday,
Mhm.
they're going to think about where am I going to go on the weekend.
Yep.
So they're going to go onto the site and they're
Yep.
going to bump it up.
yeah, so you kind of got to figure out, given the situation, obviously if you're planning a trip and it's only the next day, then the prices are going to
sure,
go up.
sure.
But if you have 2 months in advance, then it's going to go up and down, up and down. So, don't be afraid, but kind of just, you have to evaluate how they're going up and down with the prices. And be like,
Okay.
all right, this is the price I'm going for. I'm going to, I think I could get it for this price.
That's some
and then
pretty
go with
good
it.
tips there. So to
Yeah.
all your viewers out there,
So that's just flights.
it
Yeah.
always goes up and down,
Uh,
up and down.
Get
So
it. You got to get it.
you gotta enjoy it. So
yeah, wait for it, and then you hit it right there. So that's just flights. Then all right, so you got your flight over there. You're booking your itinerary of the days that you're going to be in one city, and then you want to make the most of that city. So you want to check out what's the coolest things to see in that place. So every traveler is different. I do like to see if I'm in. Obviously, if you're in Italy, you want to see the Colosseum and the Forum. Some
So-
people don't like.
I do have a question though, because me and my brother were talking earlier, and there's different kind of travelers that he kind of pointed out. He said there's two types. There's a tourist type where everything's kind of like, okay,
Yep.
I want to see all the major stuff, or
Yep.
you're more of a traveler where, okay, let's wing it. We just
Yep.
walk around the farm area, the actual, what the place is about. Like Thailand, there's just third
Like
world
the
country,
locals,
locals,
yeah,
and
yeah.
all that. So
Yeah, so that's
what
what-
type of traveler are you?
For me, I like a balance. So I do like to see the monuments, obviously that everybody has seen, the beautiful spots.
Yeah.
I enjoy obviously it's popular for a reason, so
Yeah,
people go there.
yeah.
So I want to see that, but I do like the warmth of getting to know people, the cultures, the
Yeah.
off the beaten track. So I try to balance it as much as I can. So I'll do tourist stuff, off the beaten track, look at a good foodie place, if I can volunteer at a local orphanage for for the day or a couple days or whatever. So I kind of like to do all inclusive. And then
Okay,
at
so a
night,
mixture of everything. So,
yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
At night we'll party it up, but wake up in the morning to volunteer. I'd rather get a feel of everything instead of just one thing. So everybody's different.
Yeah.
So if you just want to go party and hit it hard and then just be drunk and hungover the next day, that's cool. That's just one of those days. But the
Yeah.
next day you want to do something touristy or volunteer, then
Okay.
So that's why I think you have to decide as a traveler what kind of traveler you are and what you want to do on this trip. So if
I do
it's-
like it hard. So
you do. Then, which from what type of Davis hard?
That's too hard.
Gangster hard, yeah. But if you can figure out what your main priorities are on your travel, then kind of plan the trip around that. So and obviously you're gonna be traveling with friends, so you kind of gotta get a consensus of what everybody wants to do and all. So so you plan out okay, I want to see this tourist spot, or I just want to eat at this restaurant, and the rest will just wing it, So
Okay.
kind of decide every day what you want to do. Then after that, a lot of times you're going to travel from different cities, so then you got to research the smaller flights. So
Okay.
then you got to get down to the bargain, so a lot of different countries and different areas, they have bargain flights, the
Yeah.
smaller airlines. So you got to do your research, in Asia there's Air Asia, there's Tiger, there's all these different websites, and everybody is offering the same flight, but you got to compare which one's cheaper and does it work out with your time, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little scary now in Asia,
yeah, and
flying
which one has the least amount of crashes?
or missing planes. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
a little worrisome nowadays, but honestly, you never know what's going to happen. We can walk out on the street, we can get kidnapped, but you at least go out there and explore, enjoy the world. Don't be afraid to like,
I don't think anyone wants to kidnap me. So.
No.
Especially I'm the one that was wearing like a red thong. You see me in that? They just run away. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna kidnap us.
So
But-
I do have a question. If I had about 2 weeks off, right, and I had about roughly around $2,000, what country would you take me to?
So this is just us two, like,
Yeah, just me and you.
am I romancing, dancing with
Yeah.
your heart? Okay.
Hey guys, don't forget about me.
This over here.
Just
Third wheel is talking, but we're gonna. So this is Frankie and Zabrina here. All right, okay.
Where would you take me if I had $2,000? And what country would you take me? Where would you recommend?
Okay,
bit
so
of-
are
That'd
we
be like.
are we partying? Are
Oh,
we being
okay. You know the
romantic?
way my personality is. I just like to have fun. I like to joke around. I like
That's
to
true, yeah.
party. I like to drink. I like just in general. So I mean, with my personality, where would you take me?
What about like, do you like beaches, like long walks on the beaches, or do you like mountains? Do you like to hike more?
I like everything. I do. I like outdoors. I like biking. I like hiking. I like beaches. I like to club. I like to
But
party.
a little
I
more.
like to drink.
Which one would you choose? Like the beachy type areas or like mountain out?
Oh, that's a good question. As of right now, since I feel like I'm getting a little bit older now, I probably like more of like the hiking and outdoorsy
Okay.
stuff compared to like a clubbing. So
Okay, so then, but I mean, you want a little bit of the city life.
Yeah,
club and
yeah.
stuff, But then, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what has a good mix. Mountain. I would
I
say
do like boobies too. So
these are always nice. Honestly, that was it. Now I know. Like the light bulb in the head came with the boobies. So we're going to Brazil.
oh, Brazil.
We are going to Brazil.
I like
So
that, Brazil.
boobies, Brazil. We're gonna do is we're gonna go to the Carnival in
Carnival.
Brazil. So honestly,
Okay.
it's not your typical like. So here in America,
Okay.
we have Mardi Gras, right? So that's
Okay.
the American spin of Carnival. Americans, we're dirty. We like tainted everything. So
You hear
everything
that? You hear that, everyone? She's calling you guys dirty.
we dirty. All right, so we made it into this flashing boobies, beads, all that
oh man,
stuff,
you got me
right?
sold.
But but it's different. See, that's
Okay,
American.
okay.
That's American Mardi Gras. But
Okay.
in Brazil, so for the Carnival, it's actually just a good wholesome time where everybody's partying, having fun. Like you're dancing with a grandpa, you're drinking, with a
Yeah, that's
teenager.
pretty cool. So like,
And everybody's just out on the streets. Everybody's
okay.
dancing, having like all night long. They have this dance competition called Sambodromo, and it's like they're huge things. So it's a big, everyone's cheering, and there's like ornate like floats, and everybody's just like all dressed up in feathers and boobies hanging out. But it's classy though.
I like it.
But it's classy. It's just nice, and it's just like good, wholesome fun. So I mean, honestly, Brazil was probably one of the best. Like just overall, beautiful like city. People are passionate. Like
Okay.
they have freaking nice hands. They have nice boobies. And,
You got me sold again.
yeah.
Boobies.
But then also, I mean, there's the rest of the city. I mean, there's like the Christ Redeemer, the statue. I mean, there's the mountains. You can hike. You can go to the Amazon. Like get lost in the Amazon.
So what about in the Amazon? Is it kind of scary though, with all like the bugs and spiders and snakes and
A little bit. It
A little
is
bit?
like
Okay.
because you're like Amazon is like the wild. Like you're in the wild. Like it's not like
So you've been in the Amazon, right?
yeah. So I was
Okay,
in the Amazon. We had a hike about I don't know, maybe a good 2 miles to just get to like the lake and
Yeah.
take a boat across. And we had a refuge in the middle of the Amazon where we stayed, which is just one refuge that you stay there. I mean, every day was just like you just hike, and I swear, like we'll hike, and I'll hear this like puma growling, like
What?
And I was like-
holy
and I'll be like-
shit.
and you're in the wild, so if a puma attacks you in the wild, a puma attacks you. So
Did you have any knife or guns?
no,
or-
I mean we're just going along like la dee 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 dee
Oh,
dee, skipping
man.
along. But
Wait, there wasn't a guide or anything?
I mean, we had a guide. We
Oh,
had one guy.
okay,
but
okay.
obviously he's gonna run fast. If a puma chases us, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trip my friend. I'm gonna trip you. Puma eats you. I'm gonna run off. So as long as I run faster than
I don't
you,
know if I want to go to Brazil with you anymore.
you'll be a sacrifice, a living sacrifice for me. But That's the thing. That's the excitement of it. It's like
next thing you know, it's gonna be the Zabrina and Davis podcast show.
yay, we got him out. It was the date that we had, but now it's
I don't want to go on any trips with you, Zabrina.
and then it's gonna be the Zabrina podcast. No boys. Yeah. But honestly, Amazon, it is cool because it's like, yeah, I mean, like we saw like caimans, which sounds nasty. But caimans. Don't think of anything that rhymes with it. But caimans are basically mini little crocodiles and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and then like, yeah, like I'm definitely afraid of spiders and stuff. So like we saw these huge spiders I was looking for like an anaconda, but I couldn't find one, but I wanted to see one. But obviously, if you see an anaconda, I don't think it's a good idea. You might get
Yeah, that's
eaten
probably
up.
scary.
Yeah.
They
So
can
I
wrap
mean,
you up and eat you.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the Amazon. Like you
Yeah.
never know what's gonna happen, and that was the cool part of it. I mean, you had to do like certain things where you had to get your shots, like so you don't get like yellow fever, other things.
Yeah.
If a mosquito bites you, you could get malaria
Yeah.
and die. And so, yeah, we had to take our precautions and be as safe as we could. But I mean, in general, literally, we were just like walking in the wild. And then
Okay.
there's also in the Amazon, there's still Aborigine like tribes.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even know, but there's random Aborigines watching you.
Oh wow.
So like you watch in the movies where they're all like dirt and brown and they're hiding behind a leaf and they're hiding behind a tree, and
Why are
then
they hiding like that? Like, is this the local?
the tree hide right here. Because they don't want you can't see them,
Right.
and they rarely see people, so they don't know what to do. But I mean, I don't know. You imagine those like movies where they have like the needle with the
blow dart.
Yeah, the blow dart. They shoot at
Sure.
you, and they're you pass out, and they take you as a sacrifice or something. Like I felt like stuff was like that was going, and that's what they said. They said there's tribes like you don't even know.
Did you? But you didn't see any then.
I was looking, but I mean, in my brain I imagined.
Don't make eye contact.
Yeah.
Oh,
leaf
man.
stuff.
Definitely, you got me 100% convinced to never go to Brazil with you.
Well,
There's no
the carnival
But that's
side.
the fun of it.
is
That's
fine.
the fun of it. You just like, if it happens, it happens, and you got a story out of it. Like honestly, even with Brazil, like before I went there, everybody was like, "Oh, you got to watch out because you can get kidnapped." You watch like City
Sure.
of God, all these movies where
Sure.
they get kidnapped
Yeah.
and they get they're ransomed for like $200 or $3,000, or they
My family give you some donuts.
donuts with nuts, extra cream in the donuts for ransom. But I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, of course it happens. I'm sure it happens here and there. But are you gonna not travel because you're afraid that it might happen to you? No, you just go for
Well,
it. You're cautious.
there are the booby side, so that's pretty
Yeah.
convincing.
That's the fancy part. That's the thing. Like, when you travel, just have fun, have a good old time, motorboat, whoever you want to do. But you gotta be like, you gotta be smart about it. You don't want to motorboat like, a transvestite and then they kidnap you. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be smart
Yeah.
about it. If this person looks fishy, don't walk down the
Sure,
alleyway, the
sure.
black alleyway. Though I have had some crazy stories where I probably didn't make the best decision, but somehow I made it out. So like we were in France, and it was in the red light district.
Yeah.
We watched Moulin Rouge, the Moulin Rouge show. So
Okay.
like the movie and everything. So it's the whole movie, everything Moulin Rouge. I don't drink that much, so this night I decided, okay, you know what? I might drink and just go with it, have fun. So it's me and two girlfriends. We went to the Moulin Rouge show. The servers were like giving us free alcohol and stuff, and I was like about to drink, and I go, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then so my two girlfriends, they just got like wasted. They chugged the champagne bottles. They were all drunk. So the one friend was so drunk, she couldn't even sit on her chair anymore. She was like jello on her chair. They had to carry her on her chair down the stairs out to just to go out the door.
Nice.
So I had to piggyback her on my back.
Oh wow.
So I'm in a dress, like I'm in a tube top dress. I'm piggybacking her. I'm in heels. She's in a dress. She's, sloppy. And then my other friend's drunk too, getting more and more drunk as we're like, going about the night. I'm holding on to my other friend's hand. So this is the red light district in France. And like, you think France is like cool, it's safe. But there's gangsters in France. So I didn't even know, like, you can't even imagine, like, is there like what is a French gangster like? Can you like, do a French gangster?
Give me your
You better watch it.
money.
Yeah, I can't even. Yeah, so I couldn't even
He starts throwing
imagine.
breads at you.
Yeah.
and
Stab
pasta.
you with this baguette.
So for me, I was like, we'll be fine. So I wanted to walk to our hotel, which wasn't that far. It was like maybe like, I don't know, maybe 2 blocks away.
Okay.
I decided to walk with my friend on my back. I'm walking down this alley, right? I mean, not an alley. It was a street. And it looked safe, but, I did see this French gangster against the fence.
Did
And
he
I
have
was
a
like,
beret on?
He didn't. He didn't. Yeah,
Okay.
so he's not as gangster.
Yeah.
Gangster enough.
Wanna be France gangster.
Yeah. So he was standing in front of the fence. I'm like, okay. I'm watching him, like making sure he's not gonna like turn around with a gun or a knife, So I was conscious of like my situation, so we don't get ourselves into something dangerous, right? So I'm walking, and then as I pass him, he turns, and then I feel this warm stream down my leg. So warm stream of urine, warm stream of his piss.
Man.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah, for real. Like it went down my leg, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy is peeing on me!" Like I've never had a
Wow.
golden shower, but this was French, legit golden shower, and I was like, "Oh my god, what do I do?" I'm like slipping in my heels in his pee. I still have my friend on his back. My other friend's trying to run. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And I want to tell this guy, what the fudge? Why are you peeing on me? But like, is he gonna like try to like kill us and stuff?
Right.
I didn't know what to do, so I'm just like,
Keep running.
just keep walking, just keep walking.
Yeah.
Like, so literally, this guy peed on me. I just kept walking. We made it to our hotel safe, but I mean, I don't know, like stuff.
That's a crazy experience, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like crazy stuff happens to me, and I don't know. Like, thankfully, I make it out alive.
Yeah.
And it's always a good story. But I don't know if this happens to normal people. But I mean, I don't know. Have you ever been peed on?
Oddly enough,
Okay, we're getting deep now. Somebody who likes golden showers.
oddly enough, I have actually, but it was in Vietnam actually when I went there. I was
Vietnamese food. I don't know about that.
yeah,
That's-
exactly. But I was, oh man, I don't know if I want to go into it. I was in the restroom, I was using the urinal, and I was peeing, and then some guy goes to the urinal right next to me, and I'm assuming he's drunk because he's kind of mumbling, and he starts peeing, and I'm just wearing flip-flops, and I'm standing at the urinal, and then all of a sudden I feel splashing on my feet, and I guess the dude just kind of is not controlling himself, and he's shooting everywhere, and it's like hitting my feet.
Oh no.
Like, ah! So I just like, run out and I pour water over my feet, and that was pretty much it. But
Vietnam pee. It's like Nook Mom
Yeah.
mixture of like, yeah. Your turn, Frankie.
Sorry,
Have you been
guys.
peed on?
I mean,
Every
the
night?
only time I had the golden shower is when I'm in the shower pissing on myself or something. But other than that,
So, I mean, at least you're real with it. You're honest with it. You do it, right?
I felt my own piss, but I've never gotten pissed on. So,
But it's actually good for you. Did you know that? So when you actually pee on your feet and stuff, it takes away athlete's foot. And it takes away fungus, so it kills it. So actually, Madonna taught me this. I heard her say this. So she even pees on herself.
you guys hearing some hot tips out
yeah,
there?
pee on yourself.
Pee on yourself
You
to
won't
get,
get
rid
foot
of
fungus,
athlete's
foot, yeah.
or foot.
Yeah. No, so honestly, it's like
Wow.
a weird question to ask, and people get embarrassed, but you gotta save water, if you're like, it happens, You're not gonna go pee in the toilet and then go take a shower.
This podcast is over.
yeah, thank you everyone for
We're
tuning
getting
in.
real here. We're getting real here. We're sharing his cane. Yeah. But basically, we're going to Brazil. You and
Okay,
I.
all right.
Carnival, Brazil.
I'm
We're gonna
just
hike the
blocking out
mountains.
all the murders and anyone trying to kidnap me. I'm just gonna think
I
about
got your
boobies.
back. I
I'm-
got your
boobies, boobies, boobies.
Yeah,
We're going.
Worth
All
it.
the boobies. Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things I'm wondering is, for you personally, and maybe what you'd recommend for anybody else that's traveling that might not be as veteran as you are, what are some of the most, like, you gotta have items that you would bring along on a trip with you?
I mean, you gotta have your typical. Actually, with the passport, I think is an important thing. That's one thing that I don't think a lot of travelers think about. So, your passport basically is your like survival life. If you lose your passport, you can't come back in the country, right?
You think some people forget about that?
Well, sometimes like it's just you got to make sure that it's like safe. So
Sure,
like
sure.
you know, like if you're at like it depends on how you travel. So like a lot of times we stayed at hostels.
Okay.
So hostels are like other travelers are there. Sometimes you have other people living in the same room as you, or just you never know, somebody could break into your room. If you lose your passport, that's like it's gonna be like a craziness just trying to get back. So I liked wearing. I had this like inside my undies like fanny belt kind of thing. So it was basically a fanny belt under my pants where it had all my like real jewels. So I put my passport there. Like if I had a lot of money, because when you're traveling, you don't want to like have to go to the ATM all the time or whatever. If you just need cash, you want to keep it on you. So I mean, I had all the good stuff in my.
I could imagine like some like crazy creeper guy come up to you and like supposedly try to grab you, and they touch down there. It's like, oh man, is that
There's
a
like
penis?
a package. Like, yeah, I'm packed literally with my passport, like thousands of dollars. But okay, actually this happened to me in Vietnam. So when I was in Vietnam, no, it actually didn't happen exactly like that. But so in Vietnam, I was teaching English there, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, I was making some money. I had money in the bank, and then I was gonna go travel. So I had to get all that money out of the bank, and then I had to transfer it to I had to go to a jewelry shop to exchange it so that you can, get US dollars so you can travel with it, right? So in Vietnam, it's like $18,000 for $1, right?
I think so,
18,000 dongs or something about that, right? So, I mean, I had like millions, bajillions of dongs, right? So I literally had stacks of dongs, and I put all them dongs in my fanny belt. So I put all my dongs in my pants.
Man, this is the best story ever.
No,
You hear
so
that, guys?
literally-
Dongs in her
Dongs
fanny pack.
and I had this big old bulge, like no joke, this huge dong bulge. And I was riding in my motorbike, but I'm like, making sure nobody's watching me and following me. And then I had to go to the jewelry store. And then as I'm at the jewelry store, I'm literally putting my hand down my pants, pulling out dongs, stacking dongs. And everybody's looking at me like, what is this girl doing? She's just like in her, like I literally was in my crotch pulling out dongs. So stacks of dongs, I had to exchange it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just handy. You can put all your important stuff. So you have that like comfort that you're not going to lose it for sure. So that's one of the things I think with traveling.
A panty dong patch.
Yeah, fanny pack thing.
Okay.
Or I mean, people like the neck one or something. Whatever you need just to feel like safe with your, with your jewels and your goods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your typical, your obviously your clothes, your undies, your thongs. You need your red thong.
Yeah, my red thong always
Yeah.
24/7.
Thong. What else do we? I mean, honestly, you can get most of the stuff wherever you go, so you don't need that much. Really, all you need is your passport, your money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely. That's some good tips. I'll definitely bring that panty thingy,
Yeah.
that dong
Yeah.
panty to Brazil when we go.
Sexy. On my website, I do have like a link where it's like creative tips. So there's other like creative tips to like how to like pack and stuff, like roll up your clothes, or there's other like things that you don't think about where if you need extra stuff, like just go on the website and you'll see like creative ways to like bring extra things that you need to travel.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So earlier you were mentioning that you got peed on in France, and
Yes,
I've also heard that you spent New Year's Eve over there.
I did. I was there for New Year's Eve. So that was, again, I swear, French people, man, they are crazy. So we were at the Eiffel Tower, right? So everybody's like at the Eiffel Tower waiting for the countdown, like partying, everybody's drunk, having a good time. So there's like thousands and thousands of people out there, right?
Yeah.
Just standing in a huge crowd, like shoulder to shoulder. For some reason, these French folks, like, I don't know if it's gangsters, regular folks, but whatever it is, what they do is they throw fireworks. So they actually threw like actual M80s. Like,
damn,
you know M80s, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Those are like those illegal, like they explode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's
don't sparkle. They don't
Yeah,
like
it's
look
not like-
cool. They just explode.
Yeah, it's not a fountain where it's like, wee. This
Right.
is like literally like a mini explosion. So they would throw these M80s into the crowd, and it would just land right in front of you, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's burning. So you have to run, like literally.
Dude, that's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I would be like just walking. I see somebody like with a bloody head, like, you know, just blood coming out of their head. And then you see an M80 and you're like, ah, and you just run for your life.
Wow.
And then you're just walking again, another M80, like, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on here?
Damn, France is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just that year. I don't know these people, but like I literally was like dodging M80s and running away. And I see people like bloody running, but you're still having a party and having a good time.
Yeah.
So
just
it was still
enjoying yourself.
cool, you know, being at the Eiffel Tower. You know, it's just a beautiful area. So
Yeah. So, I mean, at the Eiffel Tower, I do have a question about it. I mean, is it like different levels on there that you could go on?
It
Have
is.
you been? Oh, okay.
yeah, so it's like I think it's tri-level. So you
How
go
many
on different levels.
Oh, okay.
So the 3 levels. I don't think we were able to go to the top though. So I mean,
But, like no Asian people allowed.
yeah. The French, they are. I mean, obviously, every culture, you know, you have your good and bad, warm and not so warm.
Yeah.
The French, they are very.
Wussies?
No, I wouldn't say. I mean, they, you know, their accents are kind of like wussy, but they're particular. So if you come to them like with an American, like kind of like, oh, I'm American, you need to speak English to me.
USA.
Yeah.
USA.
they'll give you like attitude, cultural. Like if you ask for directions and they don't like you and you're asking in English and all this stuff, then they'll be like, they'll just walk away and stuff. So what I found was the best to do in France. Like I felt like if you talk to them in like, you know, just a humble,
And just
nice
put your hand
way.
up like this the whole time.
Yeah. What happened if you can tell them that you're from America, but don't say America. If you say you're from California,
Yeah.
it makes a total difference because they're like,
Ah.
oh, California. They're like, oh, Baywatch. You know, like I was like, yeah,
Wow.
me. I wear a red bathing suit and I'm running, you know, running through the beach. And they're like, oh yeah, I love Pamela Anderson. You know, all this stuff. So they relate more to like Hollywood, California, like palm, you know,
Ah.
yeah,
okay,
palm
okay.
trees, everything like so. If you can, try to not say you're American. Just say you're from California and stuff like that. And I think they think it's cool because you're Asian and
Yeah.
you have an English accent, all that stuff. But
Oh, okay.
I think that's where a lot of Americans, I mean, we kind of get ourselves in trouble sometimes because we think that everybody should be speaking English, but we're in their country.
Yeah.
Right,
We're
right.
in France. We should try, if we could, to learn a couple like, you know, little phrases just to help. And then just so they know, like, at least you're making an effort to say, excuse me, you know, like,
Right.
you know, like, do you speak English? Like, so I that's what I try to do in every country. Like, I try to learn a couple little words that just helps. And then they'll be like more warmed up to you. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, let me help you out.
How is your French?
That's minimal. I know like voulez-vous coucher avec moi, which is from Moulin Rouge. That's
a song.
Oui, oui. French fries. You know. Yeah,
That's the only thing I know. Oui, oui. Bonjour. That's it.
but definitely France is worth seeing though. It is a beautiful. It's just a romantic city, a beautiful place. Like Champs-Élysées. There's like all these, you know, Arc de Triomphe. There's the Louvre. Like you can see the Mona Lisa. I mean, it's a beautiful place. Definitely worth it.
Wait, so where the Mona Lisa is in a museum?
Museum, yes.
Okay,
It's at the
okay.
Louvre, yeah.
It's
So
not.
the Louvre is that triangle glass museum. Sometimes you see it on like, you know, James Bond movies or whatever.
Oh, okay, okay.
And you go in there and there's a whole bunch of different artwork. Just the one area is the Mona Lisa. It's cool because like, yeah, it's just, this is the Mona Lisa and it like follows you. Like you move and her eyes follow you. So it's
Stop
pretty
looking
cool.
at my
though.
boobies.
Yeah. So yeah, France definitely is a good place to see. I mean, there's so many places in Europe. So thankfully, like I studied in Sweden, but I got to backpack with girlfriends, and we like went all over, you know, all over Western Europe basically.
Okay.
So
That's pretty cool.
Oktoberfest in Germany was awesome. Oktoberfest was like basically, literally, it's just a huge fair. It's a big old carnival, families, everything, but in these tents, there's these tents where everybody's just like pissed drunk. So drunken, dancing.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, these steins, those big old like beer glasses.
Yeah.
Ladies with big old boobies, tickle bitties.
I'm
are
there. All
carrying-
right. So that's on my list.
Basically, yeah.
Brazil and France for Oktoberfest.
Yes. They're carrying like 4 Stein beers and they're just coming around. Everybody's just singing, dancing, having a good time. And like, yeah, it's awesome. But like, you know, I didn't know it was just a fair with like beer and stuff. But, you know, you think Oktoberfest is just like a wild party and all that. But it's still like good, wholesome family fun. And then
Okay.
you're getting drunk.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, very nice.
Yes, indeed.
Sounds really, really fun. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, that'll be on my list now. boobies in France and boobies in Brazil. Let's see what else has good boobies. I'm trying to think.
Movies around the world.
That could be your next travel segment. Around the world.
So one of the things that you mentioned earlier that I thought was kind of interesting was when you and Frankie were playing out the scenario of let's go out somewhere, and you asked him, what do you want to do? Are you kind of into this and into that? And I know you talked about it earlier, and you said that you volunteered. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
That's what I say. I like a little balance of everything. Yes, I like to party, have these wild adventures. I'm out with the sharks, swimming, scuba diving, jumping off cliffs. But, I do, my heart is out, for the kids, and just if I can take a minute just to go out and, just hang out with the kids, just play with them for the day. We'll bring them stuff from America. We'll bring candy or little cool things or a lot of times I'll try to research different causes or different orphanages. So in every country I go to, if I can make out the time, then I'll research all the orphanages and I'll contact them. If I feel a connection with one of them, then I'll start communicating with them and be like, hey, we're going to come out. Is it cool if we just volunteer? We're going to, if we could stay with you, we'll just hang out with the kids, teach them English, teach them hygiene. Then we'll, what I did was we went to Nepal and we volunteered at an orphanage there for a couple weeks, and just every day, we just literally just talked with the kids, and just see how they're doing. In Nepal, honestly, I don't know what it was. It's just I've been to some orphanages around the world, but in Nepal, it's just a beautiful culture, just so loving, so warm. Every kid was just they felt like you were their family. And that was the first time I went to an orphanage where it just felt like a big family. And every time I think about the kids now, I still miss them. Brings the teardrop, because you're just
the feels.
Yeah, feelings. There's actually feelings in your heart. Yeah. So Nepal is awesome. I mean, that's what we did. We volunteered for a couple weeks. We cooked them food, which that actually ended up being a fail, total fail. You think you go to an orphanage, so you want to cook them food, right? You want to give them a different flavor of food and all that, right? So we tried our best to cook up a nice meal for them.
Mm-hmm. What did you end up making them?
So this is what happened. We made this we only have enough resources, so we went to the store, we bought all these different flavors, sauces, meats, veggies, all this stuff. So we did some kind of cool little stir fry flavorful dish.
Yeah. Okay.
We ended up feeding it the kids, and they literally couldn't eat it. So they were trying their hardest because they're so sweet and so nice. They were trying to eat it, but it was torture to them eating food.
I could imagine it right now. The kids are eating with a frown on their face.
Yeah, and this is orphanage kids. So I felt so bad. I was you don't have to eat it. And it wasn't necessarily that we're horrible cooks or bad cooks. It was literally the difference between normally they're used to eating lentil soup, plain lentil soup with a couple beans, couple vegetables, rice, and one thing. It's very simple. We made this flavor, cuisine, all this stuff, and it's their palate wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
So they literally couldn't stomach it. So then, oh my God, I felt so bad. I was don't eat it. It's okay. But, for you to go to an orphanage and make them even more hungry, it's not the greatest feeling.
Definitely.
You feel a little lousy.
I really did. I was oh my God, I totally feel. So what happened was afterwards, what they even did was some of the kids were trying to be so nice that they pretended to eat it and they threw it behind their back. So afterwards, after when they left, to go to sleep, we would see little piles of food behind. I was oh my gosh, they're so sweet, but I felt so bad. So then that's why you have to realize different cultures, they're a lot more simple. So you gotta kind of adjust.
Note to self: don't eat Zabrina's food.
No, I swear it was edible. But
sure, what those? How many kids were there? 20, 30?
Yeah, I felt so bad, but it was a thought that counted. Right? But it was a fail. So it was cool though. I mean, honestly, if anybody, I would say go to Nepal. It definitely is one of those places where just a warm culture, beautiful scenery, everything. People are just awesome. I mean, before I went there, everybody's oh, there's a riot going on. The Maoists are rioting, all this stuff. I'm whatever, You just got to go and just find good people. You find good people, you So that was cool. We got to go to the orphanage. We got to hike Mount Everest
I
area.
did have a question before that, like for like the hygiene stuff. Like how did you teach them how to clean? Like you gave them like tell them how to shower, how to lube your hands, or stuff like that.
This is about
or,
kids and orphanages.
I'm not no like
Is that the
like-
description you're gonna give? Lubing
No,
hands for
you know.
orphanage kids.
I'm just trying to figure out
yeah,
you know
washing-
like what kind of
washing
hygiene
hands.
like method did you give them? Since
So-
they're more of like a third world country, right? Compared to us, you know, it's more like first class, I guess you would say.
Yeah, so I mean, we tried to like do as much like hygiene education, sanitation education as we could, but obviously we're not like hygiene specialists or anything. But what we did is we just bought like like toothbrushes, like soaps, different soaps, and we were like, all right, well, because so what they were doing over there is like they just have their whatever resources they have, so you use what you have. So, I
Okay.
mean, they were washing clothes, but you're washing in the
Okay.
same water, and you're just like pounding on the clothes,
Yeah.
and then you use the same water, and then you go cook something. So we were just like having them more aware of the little things, like okay, after you're washing your clothes and you're gonna go cook something, we have soap here. There's a sanitation station. Wash your hands, then go cook. Stuff like that. Little
Wow.
things where, I mean, they're just used to just surviving. They're just used to just getting, doing whatever they can. But I
Yeah.
mean, they work hard. Like literally, we were washing clothes with them. Like I was like sweating, my back was hurting. Like I was like pounding on clothes, drying.
Sounds like a rough hardcore porn video right there.
Again, we're talking about orphanage kids in the
Okay,
fall.
it's
Dirty
just my
mind.
mind's just drifting off
Dirty
somewhere else. Sorry
mind.
about that, guys.
Cleaning. I need sanitation for your
Pound,
your
pound,
mind.
pound.
Hygiene for your dirty mind. So yeah, I mean, we just did our best with all those little things and try to buy them things and just just give them a little bit of like education of But are they gonna do it? Yeah, who knows? But if they do a couple little things here and there, then cool.
Yeah.
And then it was cool. We got to like, we made them like desk and stuff. So we got like, a carpenter guy to fabricate desks for them and made desks for them.
Wow.
And then, we would just like, read books with them and stuff. Or like, we'd try to teach them English, help them with their homework, whatever we could. And they were just super sweet. Nepal is, like I said, awesome. We were in Tibet and we got to go to an orphanage out there too. And the kids there also, like, I mean, we only spent a couple days there. We bought them like choco pies and just like, fun things that just to,
Little snacks.
they're kids. Yeah, they're kids.
Yeah.
We want them just to enjoy and stuff. So we just hung out. We like, jump roped with them. We just hung out with them. The sweetest thing that happened though, like when we left, we were saying bye to everybody, and they all go up to you, and they in Tibet they like to touch your face, and then they like say bye to you. And as we were like walking out, all the kids just synchronized. They all started singing "You Are My Sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy." Get it? Break it? Yeah. So as we're walking out, like they're all singing this,
Aw.
and it was so cute. Like all their cute voices, and we're walking out. I'm like tears, like walking out, and it was just like a great memory that like
That's good.
that's the thing. Like you hope to be a positive, make a positive difference in their lives, but in reality, like a lot of times they end up making a more positive moment in your life. So I mean, that's one of these memories that I know I'll keep forever, and like I know that like it like inspires me to just go out there more. If I can volunteer more, if I can go, like I want to go to Africa and other countries to just do as much as you can to spread the love.
Oh, that's pretty good. Because I mean, for me, I did some volunteering, but not like yours. Yours is pretty intense. You're going to some other place with some bunch of like different like kids, wild kids in a sense, compared to ours. But no, I'm just
Wild
kidding.
kids.
But volunteer is volunteering. Giving is
No, I'm
giving.
kidding.
Loving
But-
is loving. So wherever you go.
Yeah, but like third world country compared to the United States, what I kind of did like probably 3 years ago, one of my friends was asking to help donate some toys for Christmas.
Yeah.
So I personally donated a toy, and then the following year, I decided to get a little bit more into it. So I held like a small little dinner thing with a bunch of friends, and they brought toys, so they collected more toys.
Cool.
And this year, I decided to go a little bit more all out, and we got one of my buddies run one of the top promoters at Belasco. We did like a toy charity drive, and we collected over like 100 something toys,
Sweet.
which is
Damn,
pretty
nice.
good. Yeah. And then we took that, donated to like the actual kids out there, and to like we try to go orphanage, but there's certain like limitation on what you can actually do, so we couldn't really do it. So we had to find an actual spot to donate to the kids, because we actually want to pass it out to the kids instead of saying here's a box of toys. It feels better when you're like, hey, we're actually passing out toys to the kids. So but like I said, mine's not intense like yours, but I mean, I try to do my best to like help any way possible I can, especially if I do have the power to do it. I'll do it.
Amen to that. See,
So-
honestly, that's why it doesn't even matter where you're at. Like,
Yeah.
everybody has their different roles and different chapters of life. So, like, you know, you need somebody to do it here.
Yeah.
You're the facilitator for, you know, love here, and then somebody else has the chance to go to a different country.
Yeah.
You know, so everybody has their role. So
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
think that's
crazy
awesome.
because when I was younger, I didn't give a crap about it. But I don't know, as I'm getting older, I kind of want to like, hey, you know, just give back to kids that doesn't have anything. So it just
yeah.
feels good. So next year, definitely, I want to hold something really big and just try to collect as much toys as I can and just start passing it out. So
Sweet.
yeah, volunteering
let's
is
do
really
it.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of like some sort of like toy giving machine, like a well lubed
Santa
toy.
Claus.
Yeah, like a well lubed
Sexy
machine that
Santa
like
Claus.
produces like toys for kids.
Yeah.
So dude, big shout outs, dude. Nice.
Yeah, you call me the Asian Santa.
Yeah, actually, so when I was in Sweden, I went to the Arctic Circle, and I wanted to go to the North Pole so I could see if Santa was there. So, like, I was literally like, all right, how am I gonna go to the North Pole? But what I found out was like the North Pole isn't really like an actual like spot where there's land. It's literally in the middle of like the water's frozen, you know, ice and stuff. So couldn't get there, but I was able to go to the Arctic Circle where there was the Aurora Borealis. So that was pretty cool. Like,
Oh, wow.
Aurora Borealis.
yeehaw! Yeah, so it's either AKA Northern Lights. So like literally, if you have a chance, plan the trip. Like wherever the Aurora Borealis is, Northern Lights, plan it. Because what it is like, you know, the green, blue, just like this magic glimmer in the sky. And you're just like, wow, how is this happening? And like I literally just laid in the snow and was just like in awe. Like, wow, I can't believe like, you know, I get to see this.
Does
And
it feel like an orgasm or something?
almost like euphoric. Yeah, I was just like, you know, angels in the snow and this aurora borealis. Because sometimes, so I did get lucky. I was out there for like I think only like 2 or 3 days, and if the sky isn't clear, you can't see it.
Yeah, that's what
So-
I heard. Like when my buddy's brother went down there and
Yeah.
he didn't get to see it, and he was disappointed because
Yeah, see, so you got to time it, and you know, it's just got to be like the right moment. So that was like a huge blessing that I was able to see it clearly. I just like literally just enjoyed the moment, and at the same time, there was like a reindeer like running around. I'm just in the snow, which
Reindeer.
like I didn't even know before I went to Arctic Circle in Sweden. I didn't even know reindeer were real. I thought it was just
what?
I thought reindeer were a Santa Claus story. I thought they were like, you know, it's Rudolph, Dancer, Prancer. I didn't know they were actual real animals. I thought it was a deer with like fake antlers.
Well, you can go down to Santa's village over in Riverside and see it there. So.
Well,
did it
obviously
do?
no one took me there. I was deprived. And I didn't see real reindeer until I saw it in the Arctic Circle. So I was like, oh my gosh, reindeer are freaking real. And I was just like, so
Yeah, you ever touch their actual their horns?
Yeah.
It feels really soft. It feels weird. I was kind of surprised.
yeah. And then I feel a little bad, but I did eat a reindeer. So I didn't kill it myself, but
So you
Wow.
pet it and then you ate it.
and then I ate
Come
it
here,
up.
little
Yeah,
reindeer.
so it's a little gamey, a little like roast beefy, but you know, I just had to try it just to say I tried reindeer, but I felt a little bad because it's like me eating Rudolph, you know, like I did feel, feel a little
Rudolph
bad.
the red-nosed reindeer. Ching, ching.
Yeah.
I've come down here to cut you down.
Ooh, ooh, medium rare, please. Yeah, so that was cool. But I mean, the Arctic Circle was pretty cool. It's called Kiruna, and that's actually where they also have the ice hotel. So if you've seen like James
yeah.
Bond, different things, they have the ice hotel there. So it's a hotel made out of ice. So
Wow.
it's pretty cool. Like you stay there, everything, and then yeah.
Now, I don't know why, but in my head it just come to like, did you have sex in that hotel?
Hey,
in
if
the
you
ice
if
hotel.
you can get it, you can get it. Shrinkage or get it, whatever you gotta do.
I swear it's bigger than this, girl. It's a cold weather.
Yeah, you gotta wear the jacket and everything and all. So I mean, it's cool though. I mean, I didn't get to stay in it myself because
Yeah.
I came right as they were building it, so I saw them build
Oh,
it. So
okay.
one day I'm gonna go back. I think there's a couple of different ice hotels. You know, there's like ice bars and stuff like that. But I'm for sure one day I'm gonna go back and like stay in an ice hotel.
Yeah, that
Which
sounds pretty cool.
yeah,
All
it's
right,
pretty
so
crazy.
Brazil, France, and the North Pole, where we found out Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer is real.
He is real. Yeah, not Santa Claus, but reindeers are real. Also in the Arctic Circle, I was able to go dog sledding.
Dog sledding.
You like dogs?
I
Do
love-
dogs excite you?
I like dogs. They make me retarded.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Frankie's the boobies, yours the dog. So you have the bestiality.
Oh, yeah.
The dogs.
Them
things.
furries.
Okay. What is it about dogs that excites you so much?
I don't know what it is. They're just awesome.
They are. They're super cute. They're
Do you
sweet.
not like dogs?
I love dogs. No, I
Why
love
do you
dogs.
like dogs?
I love dogs because I just like they're. I honestly
Exactly. See?
think
You
dog
can't even
faces-
say it. You're just,
No, but the dog. I think a dog's face is cuter than a human face. Like if I had a guy,
Okay,
that
now
had
we're
a dog
talking
face,
bestiality.
then I would totally date a guy with a dog face. But actually, that's one other little topic that off subject. But do you think that like I feel like some dog owners you end up looking like your dog or something? Either
Yeah,
you,
that is
either
kind of
you
true.
pick a
Yeah,
dog that
it-
looks like you.
It is kind of true. I heard that back in the days, like probably like a year or two ago, and they said, yeah, the owner, whoever the owner of the dog, normally picks a dog how it looks like compared to their features in a sense. And I kind of noticed that when I look at every dog, if they're small, then it's a small girl holding the dog. It's
Yeah.
a mean, ugly dog, then the owner's ugly.
Yeah, it does. There's like a correlation a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like there is. Like I had a Australian cattle dog in Minnesota, and he like kind of looks like a raccoon, like darker eyes, but he was like wild. He likes to run and do wild things, but he's like super smart. He likes to like. So I mean, I feel like somehow you and
That's
your
a
dog.
lie then. Super smart. No, I don't
Basically,
think so.
I'm talking about myself through dogs. I'm letting you guys know, wild, smart,
Looks
super
like a
cute,
raccoon.
super cute. If you want some, yeah, Zabrina. But yeah, definitely the Arctic Circle was cool because like dog sledding. We actually got to dog sled because like, so it was cool. You're like literally on a sled. There's all these huskies. They're just in a line and they're just running their butts off, and you're like, wee, just running across the snow.
So are you alone, or is there the?
I was with 3 people. So there's the guide guy that's like
Okay.
whipping, like controlling, and then
Yeah.
2 other people. No, there might be more. It was like 2 or 3 of us. So I mean, we have like a heavy load, and these are. I didn't know, but the dogs are smaller. I don't know if it's the Australian. I mean the Arctic. Huskies.
Is it Malamutes, or I forgot what they're
Are
called,
they
but
Malas-
no,
I don't
I might be
know.
thinking something else, but
Some kind of husky,
Sure.
but they were smaller, and
Like
but they
how
were like
small? Like, can you give me like
they were
a
probably
rough description of how?
they were probably about this big.
Like how
Dude.
like
So you would think you would have like a big husky dog
so
to
it's
pull
probably
like
like
the sled.
about 3 feet wide. I mean, not wide, but like length.
Yeah,
And
about
then
that.
probably like a couple of feet.
Yeah, it's
tall.
not too big. So
Okay.
there's probably about
Yeah,
6.
those are
I think there were
small.
6 or 8. Yeah, and they were
Yeah.
pulling all of us, and we're heavy people, like
Yeah, especially
got
you.
Okay, now we're getting to that. Okay, forget that Brazil date, and for sure I'm leaving you in the Amazon. But that's the thing. Like they were pulling us, and then as they're running, what they would do is, obviously like we're heavy, so they would get thirsty.
Mhm.
And they're running, and then they would eat the snow. Sorry, eat the snow. I need to show you guys.
you see your head moving right now. For all the
That's why I
viewers
look
out
back.
there
Yeah.
that's
Bumped their
not watching the
forehead
video
into
and
the
just-
microphone.
I'm pretending to eat snow, people. Nothing else. I'm a dog
I'll give
eating
you a brief
snow.
description. She's moving her head up and down.
So they would
Eat
be
some more
running.
snow.
They would be running.
Oh wow!
Snow. Running. Eating snow. Oh, I did it again. And then at the same time, also like excreting their like urine or poop and stuff. So they're running, peeing, running, and so they would lift up their legs as they're running, and then luckily no poop like flew out.
That'd be kind of cool if they kind of coordinate with each other. They want eat,
Yeah.
pee,
Poop,
pee,
poop,
pee,
poop,
pee,
poop.
pee, poop,
Yes.
poop, poop, poop.
synchronized husky. Yeah. So it was just a cool thing to see, and just
Another reason to love dogs. They can multitask.
they are awesome. So
Did you get to
Go there.
Did you get to say any commands or anything? Or
I didn't myself. I don't think I remember, but I don't know. I forgot what they were saying. I mean, a lot of it was like, hiya, yeah,
Yeah.
like stuff like that. But I mean, the dogs, they were just on it. They knew where to go, what to do. They were just like, yeah, on
that's
it.
awesome.
Gotta
Do
carry
it.
this fat
Dog
lady
sled.
on me.
Jumbo. Yeah. But yeah, definitely dog sledding, Arctic Circle.
I do
Yeah.
have one question though. When you're out there, did you have or get a chance to see one of those big dogs with the barrel where they drink the liquor or carry the liquor around with them.
I think that's
You know what I'm
Switzerland.
talking about?
That's
That's
Switzerland.
Beethoven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah, where
sure
it has
where,
that
but
Saint
yeah.
Bernard.
Thing, and then the Swiss Army.
Dude, that
That's
was
kind of-
so cool. You saw
yeah.
that?
Those
Oh,
are the Swiss
man.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah, definitely out there and wherever you're in the snow with doggies and stuff. Them pissing and pooping everywhere, carrying a fat lady on the back. I mean, that's the best experience ever.
Good times. Good
times, good
times. Good memories. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Now one of the things you kind of briefly mentioned earlier was that, and I guess to take it from the Arctic elsewhere, you're saying something about sharks.
Sharks.
So, not Shark
Shark.
Tank.
Sharknado.
Not Shark Tank. No, nope. These were actual sharks. So I was in Australia, and these are like real sharks and all. So I mean, I did get to scuba dive in the Great Barrier Reef, which was pretty awesome. Like Great Barrier Reef is awesome.
Did you guys went out there kind of like just rented a boat or how did that work?
Yeah,
Kinda?
I just did a tour. So there's
Okay.
like plenty of tours out there, and then you like jump in a boat. It takes about 45 minutes to
How
an
much
hour.
did that cost you?
It wasn't actually too bad. It was like only like $60 or something for the day.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
No. I'm lying. Really? No. That's just to like go out on a boat. But
Oh, okay, yeah.
but if you want to scuba dive,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
scuba diving usually costs about $200 and $250.
Okay.
So it
So-
cost you roughly over about $300 total.
Yeah, so about that, and they provide food and so the scuba gear. So this is just an intro class. So I don't have a license. If you have a license, then it's a little cheaper,
Okay.
and you can go on like deeper dives. But this was my third time scuba diving, so I kind of had a feel of it.
Okay.
Good enough, and so it was cool though. I got to, but actually it wasn't that cool. I get nauseous easily.
Oh, so you
when
get
I'm
seasick.
when I'm on
okay.
a boat, I like my stomach's turning like turning white and stuff. So I
Don't
always
worry. I know how that feels.
yeah, I always throw up. So like going there, I was a little nauseous. I had to take what helps for me. What helps for me is ginger. So like there's these-
Ginger.
I've heard,
Yeah.
I've
What?
heard that as a remedy.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Wow.
until Australia. So they gave me these ginger pills,
Mhm.
and it did help like soothe my stomach a little bit. A lot of people like try to take like Dramamine and all that stuff. I don't like to fall asleep. I don't want to knock
Right.
out. So I mean,
Funny story. Like, I went camping not too long ago, and we went on the boat, and I was kind of drinking and fishing, and I was getting like kind of nauseous, and they gave me one of those what do you call it, Dramamine, whatever you call it, those little pills, and then you do a combo wombo with alcohol and the medication, you get kind of pretty nauseous and tired. And I remember I was sitting in front of the boat, and I was just drinking, and we were just driving the boat. And it's kind of one of those flatbeds where there's a gate, and then in the front there's no gate. So it's like, and then I was sitting in front and we're driving back, and I totally knocked out on the boat, and there was like no gate in the front, and I
Could've
could
rolled
I could have
over
definitely rolled over and just like, oh, there goes Frankie.
and nobody would have noticed. You would have been like lost at sea
It
forever.
would been pretty bad, but yeah. Those things mess you up.
Yeah, that's why I don't like Dramamine and stuff. I try to like, just whatever I can to just, I usually end up just throwing up. And once I get it out, I'm cool. So I did get to, because of that, I did get to go do my scuba dive first. So I was
Okay.
in the first group. So the four of us went down, you kind of like get used to the equipment and you're used to like breathing and stuff. So with scuba diving, I don't know if, everybody has been or not. I'm not sure if you guys have been.
Never.
Nope. I heard
It's-
stories, but
It's
no.
pretty amazing. It like you feel like you are flying but underwater. You feel like literally like Little Mermaid. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm breathing underwater and I get to see all these things. So if you can do it, definitely do it. The only thing about scuba diving, you just got to remember to stay calm and just like breathe. Take your time, because you're like, oh my gosh, I could die. What if I can't breathe? All this stuff.
I heard that if you dive too fast or come up too fast,
Yeah.
you would
It's
like,
called the bends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you can't freak out or anything. So if you're down like 30 feet or something,
yeah.
if you freak out and try to go up too fast, you can die.
Yeah, because
so,
all that pressure then
Yeah.
release too less pressure when
Yep,
you go
yep,
up and
yep.
it can mess you up. Yeah.
Mhm.
heard
So
about
then
that.
that's all you have to do is really kind of just like remember exactly what you're supposed to do, which is certain things is like what I had to keep reminding myself is you got to clear your nose. So you plug your nose, clear your ears. So you,
Oh, okay.
you release that pressure. So
okay.
I literally, the first time I went scuba diving in Indonesia, I was just like, oh, amazed, so much going on. I kept forgetting to do that. So it took my brain longer to like, climatize to the pressure.
Oh, okay.
So it hurt my ears and all that. So if I would have, so all I had to do really was to keep clearing my ears. So if you just
okay.
remember to clear your pressure, just remember it and just do it slowly. The other thing that you have to worry about is like if water goes in your goggles, don't freak out. You're not going to die or anything. Usually all you have to do is just keep practicing this, like just the movement in your head. Like you have the goggles here, you hold your finger on the top of the goggle, and you lift your head up and just blow out with your nose. And then the water like just comes out of the goggle.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Or
if
if snot comes out instead.
which is good too. You get all of it out, all the snot and everything.
Boogers
So,
in your goggles.
yeah, you just want to clear the goggles because
Yeah.
like when you're down deep underwater and it's like foggy or there's water, you freak out. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. I can't see. So
Yeah.
you just have to remind yourself to not freak out. Just do what you are like. You've trained yourself to do. Just clear it. Just go back to your normal thing.
I
But
lost all air. Don't freak out, guys.
yeah,
I
so
can't breathe. Don't freak out, guys.
that's the thing. Most people freak out. You can't help it.
Yeah.
It's like a survival thing. You can't
Yeah.
help it but freak out. So that's why, yeah, if you can practice that beforehand, that's really all you have to do. Everything else, the scuba instructor kind of like tells you what to do. They,
Okay.
they control your buoyancy and all that stuff. You don't have to worry about that. So scuba diving, definitely do it. Great Barrier Reef. So we got to go down and we actually got to see a shark. Like it was literally like, I don't know, maybe 15 feet away was this shark just chilling there.
So let me ask you, when you're in the water, were you in some kind of cage or
No, this is
you
just
weren't?
live.
So just straight up,
Yeah,
balls
so-
deep, just in the water,
So if the
no
shark
cage.
decided to come and attack us, you literally, you got to punch the shark. You
Yes.
got to, put your fingers in its eyes or whatever you
Is
got to
that what
do.
they tell you actually if a shark gets
They
close
don't
to you?
even tell you like,
They don't want to scare
Yeah,
you. If they
they're-
tell you, they're like, I'm not jumping in the water.
yeah, the likelihood, what they try to emphasize is the likelihood of a shark attacking you is like very slim.
Right.
And they'll, in Australia, the likelihood is way more than here, but they try to emphasize that it only happens like 50 times a year where there's a shark attack, which is still
That
a
is
lot.
still a lot.
Yeah, but for them, there's a lot of sharks there, and they're saying, normally it's not the shark, trying to kill you or anything that kills you. It's like, the shark thought you were like a seal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, you're not a seal, so they spit you out, and then you end up bleeding to death. But if you can get to the
Oh, okay.
hospital in time, so it's not like they're trying to emphasize that, the shark's not trying out to kill you. It's just like, it was just a mistake.
They don't have
whatever.
like one of those arrow guns where you shoot underwater.
Harpoon.
Yeah, harpoons. Yeah.
You could do that.
Yeah,
They didn't have it though.
They don't want to kill
no,
sharks.
no. So I mean, they were like, we just saw the shark and then it swam away. So it was,
Okay.
it wasn't like it didn't feel dangerous, but obviously you never know what happens. And that's the thing. It's like, so even when I was scuba diving, like I was swimming, but you're thinking, oh my gosh, is there a shark behind me? You hear like this in your head. You're like, dun dun
Right.
dun. So I kept like swimming and then like looking behind me, just in case, all this stuff. So, and we got to see turtles like swimming around, like
cool.
these big old like big fish, like these big old stone faced fishes, all these different fish. So I mean, Great Barrier Reef. It's not the best for scuba diving for clarity and actually what you see, but it's just cool because it's the Great Barrier Reef, and I think right now in Australia they're saying that they actually might close the Great Barrier Reef for a while just so it can restore itself. So they have
okay.
so many people going there, it's actually messing up like the coral, and like the coral's not as colorful and stuff.
Yeah, it's like what all humans do best. We destroy everything.
We do. And so I mean, sometimes you got to sacrifice and maybe close it for a bit, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you could see it, it's worth definitely going anywhere scuba diving. So like, I also got to scuba dive in Melbourne, but it was actually like a free dive in an aquarium. So it was the Melbourne Sea Life Aquarium or whatever, right? So it's the big aquarium, and literally there was like I don't know, maybe like 10 to 20 sharks and stingrays
What?
just like swimming around. And they're
Yeah,
like,
you definitely do have bigger balls than I do. Holy
that's
crap.
right. Those were my balls. Yeah. So these were like, good sized sharks, maybe like the size of this table. There was
Dude,
like,
that's huge. Are you kidding me?
like
That's
a
like almost
6
a big,
foot shark.
Yeah,
yeah, they were good. I mean, they weren't like great white sharks or anything. So that's why if you do like
they definitely can eat me.
yeah. So if you do like a great white shark dive, obviously you need to be in a cage and stuff that will
Yeah.
eat you. But these are like, more docile sharks and stuff. So the likelihood of you getting attacked is slim. But this aquarium, I actually read an article and it said, 2 years ago, some girl got bit in the face by doing this dive.
Oh.
Oh man.
So she was just like, la la la, and the shark bit her in the face, which obviously I don't want to mess up this face,
That's how you make your money. So.
Yeah, that's how I get my booty. So. But I just decided, you know what? I'm not going to be able to actually like free dive with sharks and stingrays anywhere else. I'm just going to do it. So it cost about $200. Literally, it wasn't.
Here's $200 for possibly getting eaten by a shark.
Yeah, take my money and take my body. Yeah. So, but it was cool though. Like literally, I was like, you know, swimming around. The sharks swimming around me. There's like a stingray just like cruising nearby me, and like, yeah. I mean, just to be able to be that close.
Did you touch one that felt all looby?
I didn't get to touch it. I put my hands up. Obviously, it could like, it could eat you or something. But no, I didn't get to touch the shark or stingray. I mean, I've touched stingrays, you know, like at SeaWorld and stuff, but. This one, it was cool. Like you're in the aquarium, so you can see people looking at you. So it was cool. Like all the little kids are like waving at you and like
y'all dancing in front of.
No, I was. I'm not kidding. I was getting freaky. I was getting freaky with the sharks and like doing all these dance moves, like the robot and stuff. And then I would start laughing myself. So then I'd start choking. So I was like, okay, I need to focus. This is not a game. I still could like, you know, hurt myself. So I needed to like focus my brain. So but that was like not a real scuba dive. So it was only down like I think I was only down like 12 feet or something, you know, and
it's
you
still
just kind
good
of sit
experience
there.
though.
Yeah, just to see the sharks like up close and personal.
There's still a lot of people that wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be one. I'd be too scared.
Sometimes you gotta just do it, you know?
I told you my balls are about an inch big. That's it. Probably less than that. Mine doesn't hang out like yours.
One day we'll make it, we'll grow it.
One day.
We'll nurture and grow it. But this definitely scuba. I do want to do the great white shark dive too. So that's in the cage. I want to go to Africa. You can go to South Africa. Yep. It's only $90.
Is it?
To freaking dive with a great white shark. Yeah, you go in the cage, dive. Because in Australia, it's almost like $300. So
I guess it's more of a touristy thing then.
It is. But I mean, just to be able to actually be that close to a great white, and you know, for so cheap and stuff like that experience. That's why I do want to plan like a Africa trip to do all that.
That'd be amazing.
I'll support you from top of the boat.
Cheer me on. But yeah, definitely. Australia has a lot to see, though. I mean, Great Barrier Reef. I was out there. I went out to Tasmania, which is like blah 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 Tasmanian devils.
Yeah.
But they actually are not like what you see on the cartoon. They don't spin like that.
They're not little tornadoes.
What? I was like looking at it like blah blah, and he was like not doing anything. So, but they're cute. They're like little like kind of possum looking, but cuter, like hairier.
Almost like little Wolverines, I guess?
Kind of, yeah, a little bit. But I mean, Tasmania was kind of crazy because like Tasmania is still like an island. So you're literally like, you know, wild animals running across the road. There's just like one little road across the whole island, and you just drive. So I drove there. I mean, I was there by myself, and I drove by myself. So I was driving on the right hand side of the car, on the left hand side of the road, because they drive opposite from us, right? So I was driving like all these different, you know, like I had to keep my brain focused. Like, okay, I got to drive on this side. I was driving a stick shift. I'm like, I had a map in my hand. It was like darkness. Literally, I had to dodge like all these kangaroos, like wombats. Like I literally like had to stop on a dime because
there's boomerangs flying left and right at you.
Yeah, like crikey, this is dangerous. Like for real. Like I was like, you know, trying to like focus and drive and not kill any animals. So thankfully, I didn't kill any, you know, no roadkill. But I mean. Every second, like something was running, and I was like, kangaroos, like, you know, running next to me. I'm like swerving and all this stuff. And it was like complete darkness. If my car broke down in the middle of nowhere, I would literally be like, you know, hanging out with kangaroos and wombats.
So
that's pretty cool.
So why were you doing this?
That is the question. Why do I do all these things? Honestly, it's just for the adventure to experience it. Like I know I get myself into some crazy sticky situations, but I think like because you put yourself out there and you challenge yourself, it comes easier and easier. So now like anything I do now, it feels like it's a snap. It's easy. Like You're
a adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, well, much. I do like the extreme stuff, but I mean, I'm realistic. I'm not gonna like try to kill myself. I like to try everything at least once, just to know that I can like.
Well, you can only try that once.
As long as I can like live through it once, I'm cool. Like I don't have to like do all these like I've skydived like once. I've bungee jumped like once. Like everything. I feel like you got to just face it. Like face your fears. Know that you can overcome it, so you don't get controlled by that fear, and then it helps you grow. It helps you like just. Like any situation, you've done that challenge. You're more comfortable. You're more confident. So, thankfully, I've had a lot of those experiences, and I think it like definitely like gives you like a different like perspective on like what you can do in your life, you know. So yeah, like Tasmania, literally driving through like so no GPS. This is like no phone. So this is like you got to go old school.
Yeah.
No phone, no Google Maps.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like you hear those little kids nowadays saying, "How do you travel around without a GPS?"
Yeah,
like,
no,
use
for
the
real.
map.
Yeah, but honestly, like nowadays we're so like,
Yeah.
you know, we like our phone is our life. If we don't have
Yeah.
Google Maps, we're like lost. Which
The,
is
the only thing I kind of remember in the past was MapQuest.
yeah.
And then we just print out the directions
Yeah.
and just look for the
Yahoo
streets.
Maps. Or
Yeah.
did you ever have the Thomas Guide? Remember the
I'm not
Thomas
sure if I
Guide?
ever had
The
that.
Thomas map, like yeah.
The booklet.
Yeah. So I mean, see, I mean it's cool. Like technology is cool. It makes you more efficient. You get things faster, but it's kind of cool to just go back to like simple life where
Sure.
you don't.
Yeah, that's
you're
part
not
of the
like
experience of
Yeah.
actually like, oh, I'm lost. Where the hell do I go now?
yeah, and you have
it's
to
part of-
figure it out
yeah.
yourself. You got to look on a map. You got to like use your brain and coordinate, not like your smartphone
Yeah.
as your brain. And so that's the thing I love about traveling too. It's like you go back to like your essence, like nature, like simple stuff, and like you don't have your phone, and it's like it's okay. Like like here. You don't have your phone for a couple hours, you like freak out. You're like, oh my gosh, what if I got a text message? Frankie Snapchatted me some of his boobies and I missed it.
Hey, get down a download. Don't let people know.
That's the thing. That's what happens with us in this, in
Right.
our day and our culture. But when you travel, you're just like, I don't need a phone. It's cool. I don't have a phone for 2 weeks and I'm gonna be fine. And like then you actually have to interact with people. So that's what I like. You actually have to like talk to people.
Heaven forbid.
Yeah, no, it's like it's trippy because you actually have to go up to somebody and ask them like, hey, how are you doing? Like, can you help me find this place? And you like, that's why I feel like sometimes we lose that like personal interaction with like technology and stuff, and that's why I love traveling because you just like really like go back to like, all right, I just want to get to know you. Like you help me, I learn from you. Just
Yeah,
back
that's
to
pretty
life.
good.
Yeah, so. Tasmania, definitely it was cool though because like I was wandering. I mean I ended up like going to the top of the mountain and I wanted to see the sunrise. So I ended up sleeping in the car, which I thought was a good idea at first because I'm like, I'm just going to sleep in the car, see the sunrise, drive to the airport and fly out. But what I didn't know was like it was freezing cold and I was not prepared for it. I didn't have a sleeping bag. I only had like the clothes on my back and some other stuff. So I was like freezing throughout the night. It was dark, everything. And then
You only had your dong panties.
pretty much that kept me warm. I literally wore every article of clothing I had just to stay warm.
Yeah.
Sometimes I had to turn on the car, turn on the heater. Woke up though, it was like a beautiful sunrise. And
Worth
it's just
it.
yeah, that's one thing. It's like you do it because you're never gonna get to go there again, maybe.
Yeah,
and
you can't explain how you feel. You just have to do it and experience it for yourself.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I definitely understand that.
yeah, definitely. So
I've been through some camping and some hiking trips and so forth. And, you have to live it. You have to experience it. I could, Zabrina or me or Davis could tell you exactly what went through, but you just have to go out there and enjoy it. And experience it
don't
for
be
yourself.
afraid. Just go for it.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, you want to be like smart about it. Obviously, yeah, you're not gonna like go into the forest with no water and it's that's actually one thing I have learned through my travels, which you would think this would have come easier to me. Like water, people bring enough water for hydration because it is important for your livelihood. And it took me many years to figure this out, where I was like dehydrated and like almost
many
done.
years.
Yeah.
I was figuring like a couple of minutes, like, hey, I need some damn water.
No, I know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like now I'm like, okay, now I got my Camelback, I got water, everything. But I had to go through a lot of craziness. So like one time I was in Atacama Deserts, which is in Chile. So it's the driest desert in the world.
Oh,
it's the
wow.
driest desert in the world. We were out I was out with all the study abroad kids. There was like maybe 25 of us. We all decided we're gonna ride bikes through the desert, and it was like, yeah, let's do it. And then, but we obviously didn't plan for the resources.
Yeah.
We all had only one bottle of water each. And this is the
man.
driest desert. We freaking rode our bikes like almost a good 15 miles deep.
Wow.
One bottle of water. And even this dog followed us. So this dog had no water and he followed us. And
The
I felt so
dog-
Did you
bad.
give your water to the dog?
I was trying to, but we were trying to. But we had to survive. Honestly, you got to choose.
You see David's face,
I know.
tears
sorry.
coming out.
I know.
Mean
Good
person,
job.
you.
Yeah. But he survived. I'm pretty sure the dog survived. I really
Aw.
hope. But it was crazy. So we were in the middle of the desert, no water. We still had a ride back. So what happened was like thankfully one random truck, or actually our hostel, picked us up. So they picked up like maybe like 8 of us girls. So we got to ride back, but literally all the other guys had to ride like a good 10 miles, 15 miles back with no water.
Well, that
And
sucks
so-
for them. I would have jumped in the car with you.
We couldn't fit. Yeah. I mean, everybody's like, all right, we got to sacrifice. Girls go back. Guys, you just hopefully you make it back. So it was pretty crazy. Like literally. So I went back to the hostel, got me some water, obviously freshened up and stuff. And like, I got a whole bunch of water and I got some like oranges and fruits and stuff. And I was like, you know what? Honestly, I think like this is like could be life or death. Like literally in the desert, no water. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
And so I just decided, I'm like, I'm going to go back out there and just ride out. And hopefully I'll meet them
up.
halfway and I can give
Okay.
them water and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, literally like, all right, I'm just going to go by myself and I'm just going to ride. So I rode, nothing in sight for a while because this is like literally the desert. So there's like maybe every like 20, 30 minutes, like one random car or something.
Mhm.
But
So how hot do you think it is during that time?
it wasn't burning hot there, but it was just because it was just
90.
dry.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like having no water. That's
Okay,
it.
okay.
So, but it honestly is the most beautiful like landscape you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Atacama Desert, it's like, it felt like almost somebody like painted like a portrait in front of my face.
Oh,
Like it was
okay.
just the mountains, the colors, the desert.
Wow.
It was beautiful, but at the same time, I'm like riding my
Deadly.
bike. Yeah, riding my bike for my life. Well, I was riding. Excuse me. I didn't even know though where the guys were gonna be. So like I was like, all right, well, hopefully I run into them and they didn't take some other like detour or something.
Yeah.
So I rode for a good like 30, 40 minutes. I didn't see anybody. Finally, somebody came. And then this guy was like, one of our friends from the thing, he was like, oh my gosh, like tears in his eyes. Like he was like, I'm so thirsty. And he's like, I didn't think I could make it. Like he was like, I wasn't even sure if I can make it. I'm like, dude, I got your back. Like have some
Nice.
water, some oranges.
Should have messed with them and said, no, I didn't bring any water.
Yeah, like, peace
and then y'all
out.
drinking it in front of them.
Like water on my like wet t-shirt contest. And they're just like, yeah.
I think either way he would have been happy. No one-
Staying alive, whatever you got to do.
Wet t-shirt versus water. Hmm.
So it worked out though. Like I was able to like see everybody and everybody got some water and we all made it back and it was just like, yeah, great adventure. But that's lesson learned. People, bring your water. Also bring your water. Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
Yep.
Because a
Yes.
lot of times people don't even realize that they're dehydrated. It's kind of like, oh, I'm a little thirsty or whatever, or maybe have a slight headache, but that is dehydration hitting in. So stay hydrated.
Yes, that is the key that it took me like 10 years to learn. But yeah.
So speaking of hydration, one of the things that you need to, well, while you're doing, you need to stay hydrated is hiking, right? So what are some interesting places that you've hiked at?
So as I said before, we did Mount Everest area. We did Machu Picchu, which that
Okay.
was pretty awesome too. Like
Wow.
it's one of those places where you're just like, wow. I mean, I can't even believe
How?
how.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally, it's like a whole city in the mountains. So you're like, how did they bring all this thing and they built it and stuff? So,
I'll tell you.
no, tell me,
Aliens.
dude. It could be for real.
Ancient aliens, that is.
Yes. Let me tell you actually another story. Then let me go off the tip though.
Oh, so you met aliens?
I don't know if it was aliens, but there was some kind of encounter of spiritual
Yeah.
weirdness.
Hit me with the
Don't be
story.
Yeah.
okay. Wait.
Time
Let
to
me
end the
tell let
podcast.
me tell the story first. Okay. So I was in Peru, It's called the Nazca Lines. Have you heard of
Yes.
it?
Yes, of course.
See,
Of course I
Nazca
know
Lines,
the
right?
Nazca
Nazca Lines. So for not everybody, Nazca Lines is out there. It's literally the desert, but some mystery. They say it might be the Nazca civilization, but somehow these huge drawings were drawn in the sand. So it's like miles long of a drawing. So it's like a monkey. It's like a spider. It's a condor. It's like a very distinct, perfect drawing, huge in the sand, and it's still there till this day. So then you're wondering, like, how did a civilization like 1,000 years ago, how did they have the tools? How did they know exactly? It's not like a kid drawing. It's exact
I
drawings.
got the answer. You got 24 hours of doing nothing every single day. You have plenty of time just to carve stuff.
But this is miles and miles
Yeah,
long.
if I didn't have a TV, if I didn't have a cell phone, if I didn't have the society the way we have it today, and I'm back 1,000 years ago, I have plenty of time to carve up stuff for 100 years until I die.
I mean, maybe it could
I'm
be. So
just-
they say it
okay.
might be the Nazca civilization. The other theory is, I guess, aliens or other something. So we were there. So when we went there, we went on a bus. It was like 2 a.m., really late. We get to our hotel. I don't know what it was about the city. There was like this weird like creepy aura. Like I've never felt it. Like I went to the hotel and I like, checked us in. I was like speaking Spanish with this, manager guy, and he just had this like zombie look in his eyes. And I was like, so I'm just like, just trying to get to our room. And he like walks us to a room. He stands in this like dark corner and he's like, your room's down there. And I was like,
Did he say giggity giggity?
he might have in Spanish, el giggity, or something like that. So it was just weird. He was standing there watching us, me, my girlfriend and a guy friend. We walked to our room. We were like kind of creeped out and scared. So what we did was my guy friend was sleeping in the corner. Me and my girlfriend, we put our beds together in the middle of in the room, right? So we're like, okay, we're gonna talk all night.
I like where this is going. All right, keep going, keep going.
Okay. And then we just started talking. So we're talking all night, and out of nowhere, our guy friend starts literally like moaning. So is this the story you want? Is this where it's going? Where you're getting excited?
I don't know about the guy part.
So he literally was like screaming, moaning, like not like.
Painful?
I mean, it wasn't pain, but it was like
discomfort.
Yeah.
Okay,
and it
comfort
was like,
moaning. Okay.
But it was loud, and he kept doing it. And me and my friend were like, he was asleep. So we were like, what's going on here? Like, is he having a bad dream? But it was like constant. So we're like, oh my gosh. So we just like, we didn't do anything. He finally stopped. Then as my friend was talking, I fell asleep, and I don't know if you guys ever had this, but it's like where you can hear people, but your body is totally paralyzed.
Yeah.
So it's just like a sleep paralysis.
Plenty of time.
Yeah. So I could hear her in my body. I can't move my body. I can't do anything. So I've had this before, like once or twice. And the first time you freak out. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't move. So you're trying to like, do whatever you can.
Yeah.
You're struggling. You're sweating and all that stuff. So this time I was aware of it. My friend, kind of gets a little scared sometimes. So I didn't want to scare her. So I just was like calm. I like prayed about it. I just stayed calm. Thankfully, I woke up out of it. She was still talking. She had no idea what happened. I didn't tell her. So we both fell asleep, right? The next morning, our guy friend comes up to us. He's like, dude, did you guys not hear me like screaming your name? He's like, he said he could hear us talking, and he was yelling our name because his body was paralyzed. So he had the same thing, and he was screaming our name. He was paralyzed. We had no idea. Then I told him like, dude, it happened to me too. And then my other friend, so all three of us, so it happened to her too. So all three of us got the same paralysis. And it was like, honestly, I don't think it's coincidence. There was something weird spiritually about that place, city, area. I don't know. And then...
You sure it's just not that you're exhausted and your body's tired?
No, but 3 people in one room had it.
Well, I mean, you guys could be all tired though, right?
There was something different spiritual at that place.
Because normally your body, like you get so exhausted, your body falls asleep first than your mind. So that's why your mind stays awake. So I'm not sure if it's, from being exhausted, from, maybe, did you guys do something earlier? Like
we were just on the bus. We were on the bus sleeping and stuff. So yeah, I mean, we probably, were a little tired, but the coincidence of all 3 people having it the same night in the same room.
Yeah,
it's
too
great. Yeah, a little trippy. So then... Yeah, the whole Nazca line though is cool though. You get to we flew a plane over it.
Okay, I was gonna ask that.
And you get to go around and see all the drawings, which is cool. And then, but of course, my nausea kicks in, right? So, anytime I'm in anything like
more
circling,
ginger.
I didn't have it this time, right? So I wasn't prepared. I was in a little Cessna plane, a little plane. I'm like going around like wow, and I'm getting dizzy, and then I start I'm about to throw up, right? So I grab the barf bag, throw up in it. The freaking barf bag has a hole in it.
Oh no!
Dripping out on my leg, and I was like, "Oh no!" Like barf, and I had to I literally was in a plane. I barfed on myself, but it was awesome. It was worth seeing, totally worth it. It's in. Actually, did you watch what is it called? Indiana Jones, but the last one.
Oh man, I don't want to remember it. The alien.
It was bad, right?
It was terror bad.
But but this is what happened. That's what I felt like. Steven Spielberg went to Nazca because remember there was scenes of the Nazca line, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And they kind of correlated with the whole civilization, aliens, the Nazca,
the whole crystal skull thing. It's all kind of from that region. So.
But I felt like he went to Nazca and he felt the same feeling that I felt, and he made a movie of it. And it's trippy. It doesn't make sense to anybody else, but for me, when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I think it's true." Like I felt like me and Spielberg connected because we both felt this weird spiritual alien thing. But I mean, his way, the skull, I don't know about it, but it made sense to me because I had experienced it.
You
So
hear that, Steven Spielberg?
Yeah.
Zabrina, she's asking for your hand in marriage right
Me
now.
and you, me and
We got
you.
that connection.
Yeah.
So at least you guys have this in common, which is you both love killing Indiana Jones. So
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird movie, but the first one obviously was way better and
yeah.
all. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
it connected in my brain, but yeah, it didn't make sense.
That's
but-
awesome. That's always been one of those really like crazy things that I've always wanted to see, the Nazca lines.
Dude, do it. So go in Peru. There's a lot to see. So you do the Nazca lines. There's Lake Titicaca. That would be for you guys should probably Lake Titicaca.
You say that one more time.
Lake Titicaca.
Yeah.
So that's why I literally went to Lake Titicaca just to say I've been to Lake Titicaca because it's just cool to say Titicaca. So, but it's actually cool there because it's a lake. And there's these floating islands. So it's
Yep.
called Uros Islands. They're
Okay.
just these reeds, all these thousands of reeds just intertwined.
Okay.
And you can actually, people like live on it. It's a tourist thing, but people live on there. It like just floats and they're
okay.
just like hanging out there. So Lake Titicaca, Nazca Lines, Machu Picchu. So Machu Picchu literally, like you could take the hike out there. You can hike 4 days out there, or you can just take a train and go straight to Machu Picchu.
4-day hike.
It's a 4-day hike. I think it's 46 kilometers. So, I mean, yeah.
Ooh.
So it's a good amount of hiking every day. So every day you're hiking about like 6 to 8 hours or 10 hours.
Oh wow.
And
It's pretty intense.
it is a little intense. So
Wow.
you have to kind of, you don't have to train for it if you're like somewhat fit,
Yeah.
but it does
So
help.
you had to train a lot.
I didn't train. This guy is hating. Damn. Just because I said I was going to leave you in the Amazon with the pumas, this guy be hating. But
We're still going Brazil, right?
no, but so, I mean, you can train. It helps out, but you don't need to. But everybody was pretty tore up afterwards because like it's a hike with most of it is stone, so it's so it's pretty rough on your knees. The elevation is about 9,000 feet.
I bet.
Okay, you're not like on your knees. You're not on your knees. You're just walking. And it hurts your knees. So the elevation is about 9,000 feet, which is like pretty high, and so you have to acclimatize. So your brain is like you can't breathe as much and less oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is they have cocoa leaves. So it's actually cocaine leaves.
I heard about that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought chocolate.
No, not coca.
Oh.
Coca leaves is the cocaine
Yeah.
leaves. So you either put the leaf like in your mouth and it just goes like in your lip, or you drink tea. So you drink this cocoa leaf tea. So basically cocaine tea, just to get your body ready for it.
You
and stuff. So
druggy.
that was the only drug I've ever done in my life. So cocaine leaves are
I've
the only
never
drug.
tried that. You big druggy.
Yeah, the cocoa. Yeah, that's
So
the only
now-
time I've ever had done drugs in my life.
Yeah.
So now I have an excuse when I fly an airplane to take coke, so I can say that.
Cocaine leaves.
Yes, I'm just
Yes.
trying
So
to.
recommend to everyone from Zabrina, take some cocoa leaves on your trip.
Yes, cocaine. Actually, we were thinking about trying to smuggle some, but yeah, it'd probably be bad because it's straight cocaine and stuff. Like, but it helps out a lot. So you're hiking 4 days. But it's crazy because you're hiking and I barely carried my water. See, I did bring some water. My water at the time I had a CD player. People back in the day, CD players. Remember those?
Hope it was anti-skip.
Yeah, it was. Good
Okay.
thing it was because you're bumping. So CD player, water, backpack. I was like huffing and puffing, like I could barely like keep up,
Damn.
right? But you have porters. So these porters are like locals that have done this hike like many times. They like run in their bare feet.
Porters. I'm thinking porter potties. I'm like, why do you have
Careful.
porter potty with you?
I
You're
gotta-
finding shit every
Gotta go
2
to the
seconds.
bathroom. Yeah, no, but you have to. Like if you have to go to the bathroom, you gotta
Yeah.
just squat, pop a squat.
Unless you have a porter potty.
Yeah, unless you carry a porta potty with you. But they have little sites, so you eventually get to the campsite, and then these porters, literally, they're carrying like almost 50 pounds or more of
Wow.
all your equipment. So tents, all your propane tanks, all your
Wow.
food, all
Damn.
of our equipment. They're running up the mountain way before us, and they're carrying us, and we're barely like making it up with just like our bodies. So it's pretty crazy. Like it's an awesome tour. They cook this like a 7-course like Peruvian meal, which is kind of like Latin but Chinese influence.
Say what?
Yeah, Latin. They have a lot of Chinese people
Chinese?
there. So
What?
it's like they have a lot of Chinese. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was cool.
I'm
It was like
surprised.
good food. Like campfires, hot chocolate. You hang around the campfire, and then you hike the next day. So what happened was on the 3rd day, it rained all day. So we were just wet all day. So pouring rain,
I like that.
pouring rain. No,
I'm closing
wet,
my
cold,
eyes. Wet and cold.
cold. It was cold. It was pretty rough. We were like up to our knees in water. But thankfully, it actually made it perfect for the next day. So the 4th day, we came to Machu Picchu. bright, sunny,
Nice
beautiful
and
weather.
clear.
Yeah, clear weather, beautiful. Like I was like at Machu Picchu, like I saw like a condor like soaring. And I was like, wow,
What's a condor?
Perfect.
condor. You know, like the bird.
Bird.
Oh.
Condor. Yeah,
Okay.
they don't really do that. That's like a chicken. But
Close
condor,
enough.
yeah. So it's just one of those moments you're like, wow, this is cool. It's Machu Picchu. So I mean, it's getting a lot more popular now. A lot of people are doing it, but I totally recommend it.
Is it pretty like kind of crazy out there with like wildlife of like tigers and
No.
snakes and
No. In Peru, it's not too bad. I mean, I'm
Okay.
sure there was snakes and stuff, but it wasn't like the Amazon where it felt like a wild. It's it is a tourist like hike and stuff. So
Yeah.
basically, just get the right like tour porter people to go with, and also if you can get your body in shape, then yeah, it will help. Like your knees especially. So work out your knees, whatever you got to do, because at the end of when we got to Machu Picchu, like we had like maybe 10 people in our group. Everybody's knees were just like jacked up. Like we couldn't even walk. We were sore. So just me and two other girlfriends. We at Machu Picchu, there's this Huayna Picchu, is this the mountain that you see in the back. If you look at the pictures of Machu Picchu, there's one big mountain in the back. You can
Okay.
actually climb to the top of that mountain.
Okay. That's
So
pretty
once you
cool.
get to Machu Picchu, if you have the strength and stuff, go for it. Go to Huayna Picchu. There's like these huge steps, and you gotta like kind of
climate.
climb it almost. It's not like totally grueling, but you kind of have to just like
It kind of
Kinda be
reminds me of Mexico, where we went to Papas and Bears, and you're in like a little sand in the middle, and then each
Climbing
step,
up,
you're actually
climbing
climbing each step. Like,
yeah, it's pretty the same. Papa's a beer, drunken,
is that kind of similar to the
yeah,
travel?
boobies, yeah.
So I've basically been to Machu Picchu.
I see it. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever,
You know how hard it is to climb each
Yeah.
stepping stone just to try to hit on a chick over there?
That's true.
Hey,
That's
girl,
true.
give me 1 second. I'll be there in a minute.
Climb it. Yeah. No. Dude, one time I went to freaking Mexico. It was crazy. Like, this girl straight up licked a boobie. Like, I saw.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I actually saw a girl lick a boobie, and I was like, wow, this is like Mexico for
Did
real.
you try to go in there and lick the other boobie?
I was just watching, like, wow, this girl. Take a video.
Let me touch that a little bit.
No, Mexico's crazy. Too many stories in Mexico. Well, that will be another segment. We'll go through Mexico. I don't think we want to go through that now, but
Dude, so what was one of the most impressive things that you saw at Machu Picchu? Like, was it one of the structures or?
honestly, I think it was just that moment where you're just like, you're sitting at Machu Picchu, it's peaceful, and then just that condor like soaring, like, wow, this is just
Picture
one of
perfect.
those moments. Yeah, picturesque moments. It's just a beautiful city though. Like, it's just like, it's just the way it's formed and everything, and just knowing that thousands of years ago, they built this. So definitely Machu Picchu is really worth going to. Check it
That's
out.
pretty cool. Yeah, I remember a while back I went to a hiking. Actually, my first hiking, I believe. It was somewhere. Well, I don't want to say where it's at, but definitely the hiking wasn't too bad because it was my first hiking. It was about 5 miles or so total.
Oh,
So that's nothing. So it's like 2.5 miles one way, 2.5 miles back. But I remember, it was just small stuff like you cross the river, enjoy the scenery, and then at the end, maybe some of you might know, but like I said, I don't want to tell you where. But it has like a small waterfall.
wait,
So-
why aren't you telling where? Why are you being so mysterious? Like,
well, I don't want to give out too much information.
what? Wait, like
But-
who's? Is there like a ranger cop coming?
Maybe. But at the end, you kind of enjoy the scenery because I went with a few friends, and I kind of went with this girl I was kind of seeing, and I remember the waterfall just coming down. It's like really beautiful and nice. But on the way back, when we're like kind of going back, our team kind of split up, or my friends we're trying to race back. So they took one route, we took another route. And remind you, I was kind of seeing this girl, so I was kind of dating her. And the whole time that I was really attracted to her, so I was really horny at the same time.
Hiking and horny people.
So
Bad combination.
yeah, it was a bad combination, but at the same time, I just wanted to just bang her, right? So on the way back, we were racing. At the same time, I was getting this huge boner, right? I told her to go ahead of me. I said, I need to take a piss. So I went off to the left, and then I kind of like peed. At the same time, I was like, dude, how the hell am I going to get rid of this boner, right? I was like thinking hamburgers, pizza, hot dog. And then I was just thinking of just different. Yeah, then it just went down. It's like, oh, okay, so much better.
Wait, food doesn't give you a boner? What the hell?
Hot dogs and sausages don't give you.
It gives
It's
me
like
a
pizza.
boner in a different way, but and of course,
That's-
at the end of I end up hooking with her at the end of the night. But
Moral
that
of
was
the story.
that was my first hiking trip that I ever went to, and I definitely won't forget it.
Very nice.
But that was a long time
note
ago.
to self: not to hike with Frankie and his boners, or bring hamburgers.
Bring hamburgers so I get distracted.
Yeah. Actually, one time we did hiking in where is it called? Half Dome.
Oh, Yosemite.
Yosemite Half Dome. That was a pretty crazy hike because, again, we were not fully prepared. We had a friend plan it, and I was like, all right, you plan it. I'm going to trust you. What my friend did was she had us carrying like cans of food. So we had like Chef Boyardee, tuna, like all these heavy cans. We had bottled water, all these things. So we had no like actual like camping gear, like, like filtering for water. Like we had all this heavy gear. We were hiking up to Half Dome. We had about 35 pounds on us. We're dying, drinking all our water. We had to camp out. We ate the Chef Boyardee, all this stuff. What happened was we decided we were going to hike the John Muir Trail, which we didn't know what was going on. But she said, yeah, we could do it. We're going to hike John Muir Trail to our campsite.
Okay.
And we were just like, okay, yeah, let's do it. We found out. We asked somebody else, like, hey, they're like, where are you going? And then, we told them John Muir, the hike and everything. And then they're like, what? Are you like tripping? Because literally it would take like a week to hike it, and we were gonna do it in 2-3 days with like not the right supplies.
wow.
Like they literally were like, are you guys trying to kill yourself? And we're like,
Did you get up? Did you get up to the top and then you forgot your can opener?
no, we did have a
Couldn't
can.
eat
No,
any
actually,
beans.
that's true. We actually didn't have a can.
Oh, you
opener.
didn't?
We had to use
Oh,
somebody else's
man.
knife and hammer it. Oh my god,
Oh,
we were
what
not
a
prepared.
pain.
So, yeah. So basically, we obviously scratched the idea because we would die to go down the John Muir. So what happened was the rest of our friends went back down the mountain to the car, and they were going to drive. They were going to drive 45 minutes to our campsite, right? So it was a 45-minute to our camp drive. So drive to our campsite. Me and another friend, we decided to hike the rest of Half Dome. So we were halfway there. We literally, I swear, this one bottle of water thing is like haunting me. Because we had one bottle of water, and we had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and like trail mix. So it was all salty foods. All we had all day, right?
Man.
We hiked Half Dome. We were literally sweating salt. And I was like literally gonna dehydrate again.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we made it up to Half Dome. Half Dome, if you guys, if you've been, it's a little crazy. It's like a 70-degree incline. You gotta like grab onto the like cables and like climb up. It's a little dangerous, but thankfully, we made it up. It's a beautiful view. It was totally worth it. But what we had to do is we had to go back down to go to a shuttle to shuttle ourselves to the campsite, right?
Yeah.
But the shuttle leaves at 5 o'clock. So we were at Half Dome. We literally had to race down to try to catch the shuttle at 5 o'clock.
Oh wow.
What we told our friends to do was we told our friends, hey, we're going to go back to the campsite and carry all our stuff back. Can you take most of the load because we need to get to the shuttle? You guys are going in the car. So we're like, don't leave us too much stuff. And they're like, yeah, sure. We go back to the campsite. They left us everything. I had 10 cans of tuna, a trash bin, like all the tents, all the stuff. And we're like, oh my gosh, our friends freaking left us with all the heavy stuff. Thankfully, some nice person gave us the water filter. So we got water. We were able to hydrate ourselves.
Ah, nice.
But we were running down. So I was carrying 10 cans of tuna, running down, trying to get to the bottom by 5 o'clock, right? Lo and behold, we get there at 5:15. Obviously, the shuttle was gone. No matter what, we had no money. So we
Wow.
had no money. We couldn't even get on the shuttle. So we were like, okay, what do we do?
Show
We were
boobies.
like, that was one idea. But basically, I had to work my body to hitchhike.
Yeah.
So I had to hitchhike. You show my sexy thumb, legs, everything. But it was me and a guy friend.
Mhm.
So people weren't like picking us up and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, like.
Or was it like, oh, look at that girl's hairy legs?
Hey, okay, we had pants on. I was like working my, whatever movements I can. But luckily, we did get picked up. We got picked up by 3 people, so we had to get like dropped off, picked up, dropped off, picked up.
Oh,
Hitchhiked
okay.
3 times. Thankfully, nobody like murdered us or anything. We get to our campsite. It's like 200 campsites out there, right? So you have
Wow.
no idea where. I don't know which campsite our friends are at. So the smart thing to do is go to the message boards. Campsites have a message board. So we go to the message board. we read all these messages like, oh, Sarah, I can't wait to see you. We'll see you tonight. You know, our campsite is 246. Oh, we miss you. You know, all this stuff, all these messages. So I'm
I
looking.
never knew that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. I didn't know they had message boards.
Yes, and I wish my friends would have known that. Freaking put a message. So I was reading through. I'm like, yeah, my friends are good friends. They're gonna leave me a message. It's gonna be really
really
sweet.
good friends.
Yeah, I was like looking. No Zabrina, no Zabrina, no Zabrina. I'm like, no freaking way. Like,
Davis and Frankie rule.
damn you. Yeah. Like, I literally looked on the ground. I was like looking everywhere. Like, no way can they not leave us a message. How am I gonna find the campsite? So what we ended up doing was I had to walk down. We walked down every aisle, and I was screaming their names. Like,
Oh wow.
Mary, you know, all these names. I was screaming their names. We did this for almost a good hour, and then once in a
Here
while,
comes out the schizophrenic.
yeah, no, once in a while somebody would be like, yeah, and I would run to this, you know, voice like, yeah, and then they'd be like, oh, I'm just kidding, I'm not your friend. I'm like, what the freak? So they like, these people were messing with us. I was hungry. By this time, we had nothing to eat. I literally was like hungry, but I wanted the happy ending, right? So we were planning
we all
to have.
want the happy ending.
That was too easy, dude.
No, but the thing is, I set that up for you.
Yeah.
But actually, the happy ending was Korean barbecue. So I wanted the happy ending, which
Oh,
was
that is?
Korean barbecue dinner. And I was so hungry. I was like, dude, we're going to find them. You know, let's keep going. So we went for another good 45 minutes. This is like almost like 9:30 by this time, 9:30 p.m.
Damn.
We've been hiking all day, no food, all this stuff. Finally, I said, okay, let's just try this one last one. I'm like screaming their names, and I hear Zabrina, and I was like, oh
Nice.
my gosh, like literally tears in my eyes, like twigs. I was dirt. I was like, friends, like I didn't care. You didn't put a message board message, and I literally,
you run past them, go to a Korean barbecue.
I know that's what I really want to do. But you know what they did? They freaking ate all the Korean barbecue. I was like, wow.
Oh man.
My friends, I thought you were like for real friends. They ate all the Korean barbecue. No message board. Like we had to eat astronaut food. I don't know if he had astronaut. Astronaut food is like
It was, like,
packaged.
dehydrated.
Yeah, nothing. Packaged nothing. We had like, oh my gosh. But I was just thankful to find them and we were safe. But I was like, all right, friends, note to self, message board, leave your friends Korean barbecue, you know, don't. But then their answer was, you know, we knew you'd find us. We knew you survive. You'd find a way. Because they actually.
They're like eating the Korean bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll find us.
Yeah, they actually once in a while like, I wonder if Sabrina's okay. Whatever, eat my Korean barbecue, eat my kimchi. And then they even passed the message board, and they actually literally told me, they said they thought, should we leave a message for Sabrina? Nah, she'll find us. They actually walked past it. I was like, wow, you just made like my life 10 times harder. But yeah, I mean, it's all part of the story, part of the adventure.
But
So it worked out. Happy ending worked out.
Well, that's kind of cool though. It's like, you know, that's actually part of the adventure you created. You know, like the adventure walking and trying to find your friends.
It
That's
is.
part of the fun. You know,
It
It's like,
is.
wow.
Luckily, it worked out, but would have worked out a lot easier if our friends would have like thought of me. So and message board, Korean barbecue. But yeah, good times though. Good times.
Yeah, good times. Good times. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Dude, awesome. So if I were to ask you one, and this might be really difficult, but if you could choose one location to be your absolute favorite location in the entire, out of all the trips that you've taken, what would be the best moment for you or place?
I do get asked this question. It is harder. There's so much out there. There's so much to see. There's like, you know, Brazil, Nepal, Italy, all these places have something
Boobies.
such, yeah, boobies everywhere. So much, you know, everything is their own like culture, own place. There's so much to see.
Now, see, I got this machine, right? And then I'm going to hook up this machine to you.
Okay.
And it's basically going to erase all of your memories of
Wait a
all the
minute.
places that you traveled, except for one.
Am I getting kidnapped here? What's going on here? Somebody help me. Is this a ransom video?
So because I'm a nice dude and I'm going to let you keep one of those memories. So think of it that way.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. It would probably have to be Nepal.
Nepal.
Because
Go with the kids.
yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
like it's like a memory that it like literally left like an imprint in my heart. Like these kids are just so amazing, so much love, and it was just a great big family. And then, you know, we get to hike the Mount Everest. You got to be by Mount Everest, you know, just people, everything, just culture, everything was amazing. So if you can go anywhere, I would say Nepal. Go for it. Like it's a good balance of everything. I mean, I didn't actually, we didn't really get to party there. But Kathmandu is the city. I'm sure there's parties and stuff there. But
I mean, that's not what it's known for.
memories,
So,
yeah.
Right.
For the memories, I would say Nepal had the
Awesome.
most memories for me.
Awesome.
So since Davis asked, what is your best memory? What is your worst memory?
Ooh, actually, I don't get to ask this that much. Worst memory. Okay, peeing on somebody peed on me. That was, I kind of liked it a little. No,
People throwing
pretty bad,
M80s at you.
M80
The
was pretty
shark.
bad. I wasn't bleeding though. Sharks, I didn't get bit.
There's
You throwing up
the
on
crazy
yourself.
jungle. Puma.
Yeah, throwing up. That's not too bad. Nauseous pumas, animals. Let me see. Worse. Honestly, I think, like I said, everything is part of the adventure, like you were talking
Yeah.
about. You know, it's all part of the story, and you learn from it, and you grow for it. So I can't really just say anything is that horrible. Honestly, living in the snow is pretty rough, though.
Okay.
So
So you're just
I'm not going
freezing
to
your
say
ass
any
off.
names of places, but living in the snow for a long time is a rough life. So I am
Minnesota.
I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, my cough came back for some weird
There
reason.
it is.
You okay,
that,
Davis?
That
You okay?
Mucinex.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. You're like, okay, you appreciate everything else that is so much more easier in life. But yeah, that would
Alright.
probably be the hardest thing.
So
going
shout
through.
outs to California.
Yeah, California
Knows how to party.
What? California. But yeah.
Cool. Well, you know what? On that note, I guess we're going to wrap up the show. So, Zabrina, again, thank you so much for being on. You want to give any shout outs or anything or say hello to anyone?
Shout outs to my homies out there, friends getting married. Congratulations. Mary, Mike, Nancy, Note, Kim and Chester getting married on the way.
Woohoo.
All my peoples
Congrats.
all around the world. Yep. Zabs Crabs. Peace out.
Skew the crabs.
Frankie?
But yeah, definitely shout out to all the people that's listening out there. I love you guys. Definitely if you love our show, keep listening to us, keep following us. We will try to have many guests with different experience. So much love to everyone.
Wait, one more thing. I'm going to do one more
Oh,
plug.
yeah.
Go
Sorry.
for it. Go for it.
Interjecting another plug.
Absolutely.
I am starting to venture out into the emceeing world. So Fika MC,
Oh.
wedding MCs. So I've been doing some weddings, coordinating.
Can you throw a little bit MC for us right now?
Throw it down,
Yeah, go
bust the beat. I do rap. I do little bits here and there.
So,
So,
how can they get in contact with you? Like through a website, or is there some kind of plugin?
I am going to start a
you want everyone to-
website. It's going to be www.zpweddings.com.
Okay.
So zpweddings.com, going on with my CP themes. I'm going to start emceeing more weddings, coordinating. I have DJs that I work with, put on a show, just have a memorable wedding nights
There you
where
go. You can actually have Davis be one of your DJs.
Yeah.
DJ Turtle Wax.
What? DJ Turtle Wax? You DJ?
I know he hates
Slow-
weddings though.
Slow
but
motion DJ? Slow motion for me.
No, I've always made it a thing where I would not ever DJ a wedding.
Oh,
Just because
okay.
of the pressure. I don't.
It is. It's a one-time thing, but
Yep.
that's the thing. That's the thing about a wedding. You gotta have it right and tight and get it. You
Yep,
know,
yep.
right?
So
I think we can work on it. We'll
we'll
practice.
we'll talk about
Yeah,
it. We'll
yeah,
talk
we'll
about it. But
that's
what-
a no.
yeah.
Damn, we got rejected on podcast.
But once again, everyone out there tuning in, thank you so much. Again, Zabrina, thank you. zpwonders.com. Go ahead and go over there, check it out. You see a bunch of photos of all our wild and crazy adventures, and that's gonna pretty much do it for us. So, on behalf of everybody else, thanks a lot again, and we'll see you guys next time.
Much love.
Woo woo. Frankie Davis. Peace.